Let's see. Is it working there? Okay, we need to do a bit of troubleshooting, lads. We apologize for the inconvenience caused. We apologize that we are running a bit late. It's because I was going through some internet issues. But hold on. Let me figure this out and see whether the volume is working fine. Comment if you're here. Welcome everyone. Comment if you can hear us. I think that's the most important thing right now. Okay, they can hear us. Oh, fantastic.
Very, very good.
Very, very good.
There's a bit of suspense sometimes you need, like when the bands are always late.
Exactly.
I mean, it's just
see, like yesterday,
2 to 3 minutes.
Exactly. Yesterday, Red Hot Chili Peppers. Usually it's the Westerners. The Western bands will always come late. It's a given, right? They'll always be late, like 20 minutes late. So maybe we are adopting a bit of that measures.
So
from
do
them.
you just compare yourself to Red Hot Chili Peppers?
Of course, mate. Of course,
you scale down the waiting time by quite a lot.
Quite a bit. So quite a lot. It was like 1-2 minutes delay. We apologize. For the bit of the delays. But what is going on, people? We are thrilled to be back. As usual, Brendan from the Goal Difference, Joshua, co-host. How are you doing today, mate?
Doing good. Been quite spot on with my predictions last week.
Yeah.
Went pretty well. Quite a few upsets. Chelsea drawing may not have been upset, but Brentford getting a draw at Emirates. So, I mean, it was a good week last week in terms of predictions-wise.
Predictions-wise, I mean, you did predict that Arsenal was going to
draw Brentford and lose to City, while you predicted 2 wins out of 2. It must have been quite a tough week for you.
Oh, it was a terrible week for me. Terrible week. I did stay up to watch also City and Arsenal. We can go through that a little bit later. Either ways, welcome everyone. So let's see today's agenda, right? If you see the thumbnail, we've got a few agendas today. We're going to talk a little bit about Arsenal's demise. And then we're also going to talk about Champions League and Europa League, which I was fortunate enough to catch some of the games. So, we can talk a little bit about that. And then also we can, we'll preview Game Week 24 games. And also we're going to talk, the main event is going to be talking about the Community Shield this Sunday. All right. Have you bought your tickets yet?
Yep. Bought it. Excited. It's good to watch a live game of football after what's been, not too long. About a month or so ago, we did watch the Mitsubishi Cup.
Yeah,
but, it's always nice to watch a game of live football.
Actually, it's quite nice to see that Mitsubishi Cup plug that gap. We've been a longer break, right? To watch live football in Singapore.
Yeah.
So that's good to see. And let's see some of the comments. All right, so let's go to some of the comments. Yeah. Matthias, cheers, mate. Thanks for the comment. He said, let's go 1K subs for the goal difference. Yes, we'll address that later. Thank you very much. We have reached 1K subs. Thanks to each and every one of you. Our heartfelt thanks goes to everyone, and we're still trying to improve, and we want to go, maybe we want to take it up to 2K, so let's try and reach that goal. And then now we got Zach. Mr. Zach is very happy, right? Because he's a City fan, and City fans are chirpy a bit right now.
They suddenly reappeared.
Yeah, exactly. 1 month ago, you're like, we are giving up the league for Champions League. All these kind of excuses. Now, wow, they're chirpy.
The sadness about all the charges, but now top of the league.
Yeah. So last week's show, we did talk about some of the charges that's going through. And okay, and then now he said, Brendan, what time already? Right? Okay, relax, guys, relax. We've got some of technical issues that we were going through, and we are all good right now. So and then Kickoff, I say here, I'm snoozing. Mate, I'm far from snoozing. I was panicking. Joshua can attest to that. I was running around trying to figure out how to fix the issues, but it's all settled. Xavier, welcome Xavier. Hello, Albirex will win, and so will LFC. You love it.
Not sure about the first part, but second part, for sure, man.
For sure. All right. And then Marcus has said Liverpool beat Everton. Yes, in the Merseyside derby. We can talk a little bit about that later. And then Riyadh says hello all. Cheers, Riyadh. Good to see you. Raihan says yo, what's up, mate? What's up? And Kickoff said, all right, let's go. Okay, Iggy, we've got resident friend Iggy says, Toyo, we needed Caicedo in the window. Now Jorginho has brought the Chelsea curse to us. All right, we can actually address that later. Yes, it is actually a fair, I won't say it's a valid point, but it's something that we can have fun and talk about it. And then last but not least, I think this is Braden, if I'm not wrong. Welcome, Braden. He says, Hougang win Albirex and they fly kite and bird park. All right, man. Cheers for the comment. All right, so with that being said, let's move on to the first topic, right? It's a topic that I do not want to talk about, but I think let's just begin, yeah. My dear old Arsenal. ... Do you watch the game?
No, but I watched the highlights.
I
watched the Brentford game, not the City game.
All right.
Too early in the morning.
All right. So actually, this is a good contrast, because I did not watch the Brentford game. Okay. I watched the City game.
Yeah.
Right. So what are your thoughts about the Brentford game for Arsenal?
I mean, I remember saying on the stream last week, I thought Arsenal would concede most likely from a cross or set piece, which they did. But once they got the goal, I thought they would have gone on to win it actually.
Okay.
And 0-0, especially in the first half, Brentford had a number of chances, which they're very unfortunate not to score first. But, when it came to the second half, Trossard came on.
And
he provided that
instant
spark.
impact.
He scored the goal. I thought from there, Arsenal are going to hold on for 1-0, maybe get a second win, 2-0. But then, the cross, and then, VAR.
Was it offside? Was it supposed to be an offside? Because the player was not in the player that was offside was not part of the play, was he?
It was Nogat. Yeah.
He was part of the play.
He was part of the play. He crossed it for Tony to score. So I think that part was very disappointing. I think I've seen a lot of Arsenal fans being disappointed about it. A lot of people saying it's a disgrace. So, Brentford deserved a draw.
Yep.
But the goal was a bit unjust. And if not for the goal, maybe Arsenal would have held on for 1-0.
Okay.
Went on to get 2-0.
Well, I guess you can put it this way. We got lucky against Liverpool, right, with the Thiago penalty, right?
Yeah.
So with the Gabriel Jesus challenge. Thiago's challenge in the box. So I guess this is karma.
And then also a potential handball.
Yeah, Gabriel, right? Yeah. So, I think that's fair. Like it. Someone we did mention that what goes around comes around. So it is what it is. Sometimes you just football goes against in your favor, and it's quite not disgusting, but it's quite irritating as well. Especially from a VAR, supposedly a VAR check, and they missed it. So, so that's the Brentford game. We still got a point, right?
Yeah.
So we still had the title in our hands. We still have the title in our hands per se, but it had a stronger grip to it.
Still disappointing because, when you look at Everton and Brentford games, so to get 1 point from both has to be disappointing if you're fighting for the title.
Yes, most definitely. By the way, Ryan Tune, as always, tuning in. Thank you, mate. He's an Arsenal fan, confirm. Because he went on through Gruner's stream, right? He was like very disappointed. He said that. So cheers, Ryan. Thanks for always tuning in, living up to your name. So, I watched the City game. I stayed up late in the morning. I stayed up in the morning to watch the City game, and I watched it live with Get Stuck In, the lads at Get Stuck In. It was a pretty fun stream. You can go and check them out if you guys have. I did not link their channel, but if I could, maybe I could link their channel. You can check the live stream out. I would say actually first half we were playing really well.
Yeah,
we piled on the pressure against City. It's just one of those it's the usual Arsenal's game plan, right? In the past, this whole season, first half you're very, very strong, but we just can't capitalize. It's the same old story. And then Tomiyasu with the
what a finish though!
What a finish by De Bruyne.
Weak foot.
Yeah, weak
first
foot.
Time
weak foot
from
chip
that angle.
From the angle, class from De Bruyne. But I don't know, man. When I saw it, I feel a bit sad for Tomiyasu because I guess he misjudged the pass, right? But an easier way you just pass it out and then go for a throw in. But this kind of thing you cannot predict, and it's sad to see because especially Asians, we do want to support our Asian counterpart, but it looked quite bad. And then Odegaard had to go up to him and shake off.
That was probably the only change from the usual side.
Yes.
Partey of course missed the game through injury, right?
Yes.
But I think, were you surprised to see Tomiyasu start over Ben White?
Yes. With the guest talking when they announced the lineups, we were like, that was the omission of Partey was understood because he was injured, right?
Yeah.
But then when we saw Tomiyasu, it was like, what happened? Because Ben White was listed as fit to go, right? Yeah. So it was very, very strange from the get go. But for me, I'm very optimistic for Tomiyasu. So I was like, okay, we can have faith in him.
He was excellent last season.
Yes, we can have faith in him. But then after that blunder, you could see Grealish was also kind of bullying him a bit. In the stream, right, I did put Grealish as my man of the match.
Yeah.
He was fantastic.
His goal was great as well.
His goal was great. He was very, very terrorizing on the left. And yeah, it was just sad to see. And then City considered a very poor penalty from Ederson. I don't know what Ederson was doing. I think he came up, then he realized
But it was a bit harsh though, because the ball had gone. Nketiah did get the shot.
Yes.
Not like he pushed it past Ederson and was fouled. So
yeah.
I thought it was a little bit harsh.
I agree.
Can see why it was given, but because of the contact. But
yeah, I agree.
He got the shot the way the ball was gone. So, but Saka's penalty was great.
Yeah, I wholeheartedly agree. It was quite a soft penalty because like what you say, the shot was already taken, right? And Ederson was in a defensive position, but him himself just standing there I think if he had went for the ball or something, it would have been much more convincing that it was not a penalty. But because he just stood out there and didn't move, right, it looked like he was purposely blocking the passage of play. And then Saka's penalty, I was like, oh no, is this Jorginho taking? It's like Saka's taking. I'm like, oh no, please, Saka. Then it was a beautiful penalty.
It's good to stick to your number one.
Yeah, penalty taker. Yeah.
Not like City last week. There was a bit of bother about Haaland not taking it. when he's the first choice. But,
Correct. So that was right before halftime, and it was 1-1. I was like, okay, we can be optimistic about this game, right? And from looking at how we were playing, I was like, okay, it's either going to be. I was very confident it's going to be a draw, right? And then second half started. I did not like what we saw on the pitch, man. I think from like the 50th minute to the 65th minute, right before Grealish goal, right, we were just absorbing pressure, which is fine, right? But then we were clueless. We didn't know what to do, right? It was just City just pressing us really hard, and then eventually, they found a breakthrough. And then Grealish scored, and it was quite unlucky. Actually, Grealish's shot was a bit low. I think Ramsdale could have gotten it, but then Tomiyasu's deflection off his foot, it went over. Yeah, very, very unfortunate. And then after that, it just collapsed after that. And then
I mean, perhaps the pressure, got to the players a little bit. And also, I think we talked about this point before a lot about how, there's the continuity has helped Arsenal.
Yeah.
I think at the Brentford game, I heard the commentator said in all the Premier League games this season, they've made only 14 changes in total. So, I mean, this game, of course, Jesus has been out. I think he's been a big miss.
Yep.
And Ketia has filled in the first few games, but I think now it's starting to show that
losing
Martinelli's
a bit of
performance has dipped
quite
because of this as well.
Yep.
And then Partey, of course, another vital part. Jorginho is...
Jorginho did play an alright game, but Partey provides us something a bit more midfield stability that that Jorginho doesn't give us at this current point of his career.
Yeah.
Right. But he's good to hold the ball and he's good to distribute the passes as well. He reminds me of like Xhaka of old, when Wenger used to play him as like a defensive mid, where he's kind of like a defensive liability, but he has the range for his passes.
Yeah.
So the lack of CDM and like what Ignatius says, right, the lack of maybe Casado would have been a good signing for us to play like a box to box.
Yeah, I mean, he would have been a lot better in this game. I think bring a lot more energy to the play. And I think Partey actually in all the big games this season he's been fantastic.
Yeah,
like
and
the
then
game at Tottenham, the game against United.
Liverpool as well.
Yeah.
The Liverpool as well. But you see, that's the thing. When Partey was out, right, against United and against City, this is what happens, right? So I think it's so clear to see that Partey is like the missing link and the clock. He's the clock in the machine, right? Once you take him out, right, I think Arsenal, as you can see, right, they struggle. They really do struggle.
And then you look at the bench. I mean, the options aren't really there for me.
Yeah.
For me, Trossard, of course, he's come in and provided a bit more depth in the attacking positions. But other than him, it's always relying on Fabio Vieira to come in and try and do something.
Well, I think Fabio Vieira should come in like earlier on and try it. I think Arteta got it wrong. Like once we were 2-1 down, I think we would have brought Fabio Vieira. It's like I won't say it's a kamikaze. I don't know why I like to say kamikaze, but we should have brought something on to kind of, and his passing range is really, really good, Fabio Vieira, right? He may not be as defensively astute as Partey, but the passing range he has is really, really good, and he's also got kind of a good shot on him as well. Whereas Odegaard is totally different. He's such a playmaker, but he doesn't have a good shot on him. Odegaard always fails to struggle to convert in those like outside the box chances.
Yeah, but when I watch Arsenal games, the changes are always this few, and then also at fullback, they always either bring in Tierney or bring in
Tomiyasu.
Usually Tomiyasu. This game was white. And if you look at the City's bench in comparison, they had like Foden, they had Alvarez to bring on.
Yes, Foden came on,
quality.
And then so like from that on, I won't really talk about the third goal. Third goal was deserved for City. I think we were really, really poor. And then I think we should have brought Trossard in earlier. Hold on, I think I'm getting a bit of a. Okay, strange. Anyways, hold on. Let me try and fix something out here. It's a bit of a. Again, technical difficulties. So we should have brought. I think Trossard. This game has shown to me that Arteta needs to start Trossard over Martinelli the next game tomorrow against Villa. We will preview that later. So I think Martinelli is really dipped up form quite badly, and I think Trossard was fantastic when he came on. Right, you could see the kind of direct passes he was playing and the runs he was making. Very, very lethal. I think we need to play him.
Yeah, I won't be surprised if he does start.
Yeah, against Good evening. Yeah, so that is Arsenal losing. We are kind of losing the grip on the Premier League title. It's still not over yet. We still have 1 point in hand. It's still tight in points. And then you got people like Zach now coming out of the shadows and throwing a bit of, trying to throw a bit of spite on against the Arsenal fans, which is totally fair. I think you guys really deserve it. And this next section, right, I just want to see. I don't know whether it's a bit. I think it's a bit small for you guys. Hopefully you can enlarge the screen. But if you look at the screen, right, it was from 1 month ago, January 17, right, the table, right, Arsenal has 47 points and City has 39 points. This was exactly 1 month ago. And then now 1 month forward to this current day, City is now tied with Arsenal with 51 points. So they've garnered all maximum points, whereas we've only garnered 4 points in 4 games.
disappointing stuff.
Very, very disappointing. It is very, very
But I
disappointing.
mean, it just shows you how fast the Premier League can change.
Yep.
I mean, even last season, I think there was a point that City were 13, 14 points ahead of Liverpool.
Yep, and then
we
Liverpool
finished 1 point behind. So
Yep.
it's not over. I mean, United can still very well win the league. Yeah.
United is also not far behind, right? But they've played like one extra game, so that kind of affects that. The charge that they are making. But Man U, I just got to say we'll talk about a little bit of the Barca Man U game. You watched the highlights for the game?
I did.
It was a fantastic game. It was really, really good. So
one more thing to say though, I'm glad Liverpool is in the screenshot. Thanks for keeping them in.
Of course, I know. I wanted to make sure that I had like Liverpool and Chelsea. Then I was like, okay, let me put them in. So, just to be fair. And they've not moved, right? They're still the same position.
Yeah, consistency
is key.
Premier League.
Exactly. Actually, is there any movement? Fulham has dropped down, Brighton has overtaken. Newcastle. Yeah, that's about it. And Spurs still holding on. Yeah, Spurs.
Newcastle with a draw. I think a couple of draws in a row, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah.
So I mean, anything can change.
Yep. So that is Arsenal. I foresee. I mean, I think in the chat, not many Arsenal fans. It is what it is. And Liverpool, right? Let's talk a little about Liverpool. Yeah. Beating Everton at the Merseyside derby at Anfield. 3-0, 2-0. 2-0.
Salah with one. Gakpo with his first goal.
Finally breaking the bit of the egg.
I thought the front three were excellent. Gakpo, Nunes, and Salah. Best game together. But man of the match and player of the month was Stefan Bajcetic.
He's what, 19?
Bajcetic.
He's 19? 18? 19?
18.
Damn. Really, really good to see. And yeah, it's just a matter of how, Liverpool can how can Klopp utilize this youth coming out from the ranks. And it's good to see that, right?
I mean, our home form has generally been okay. It's our away form that has been terrible. So it's a very, very tough game tomorrow night against Newcastle. Yeah,
and which we're going to preview. But I don't know, man. I'm in the... I'm thinking that, Liverpool can cause upset here. I don't know. Newcastle is still up in that pedestal for too long.
So are you saying that Newcastle are favourites?
Yes. I'm definitely saying that, but I think Liverpool can get a result at St. James's Park.
Yeah,
confirm can lah. I have faith in Liverpool. It's about time you need to uplift change the mood around.
I mean, Jota is back, which is a huge boost.
Diaz, how long is Diaz out?
He's back running, but I don't think it'll be so soon. Probably a few more weeks.
So Jota is back. Diaz is still out.
Van Dijk was on the bench against Everton. So I think he may start tomorrow. There's a chance.
So who was the centre backs for Liverpool against Everton? Gomez and
Matip. And not the strongest. I think it still looked a bit shaky, but I mean Everton is still pretty comfortable, but Newcastle might struggle a bit more.
Yeah. And it's just to Liverpool. I think Klopp went in thinking that they cannot lose to a rival that's just across the road. So
they almost conceded first. You know how the first goal happened? It was a set piece. Tarkowski hit the post.
Okay.
Nunes collected it. He played a 1-2, ran all the way, and he crossed to Salah, and Liverpool scored. So Liverpool were very nearly 1-0 behind.
And then
they
capitalized on the counter. So fantastic. You see, that's how cruel football can be, right? When things just don't turn out your fashion in your way.
I mean, Firmino is back as well. He came off the bench. So suddenly it looks like Liverpool has quite a number of options up front.
All right. Okay, so we just previewed extensively about Arsenal. And then now we're going to talk, we did also talk about Liverpool, right? And then I forgot that we need to do this, but let me just do that give me 3 seconds. 19. All right, I think 19. Okay, so let's move on to our next talking point. So today's show, we're going to, as I said earlier on, the main event is going to be the community shield, right? And then I think we will have an open discussion. We'll invite some people on later, just give them their thoughts about the community shield. And we'll see how that goes. And so with that being said, now we're going to move on to the Game Week 24 preview, right? So we're going to talk a little bit of preview. So usually we keep the previews for the end, but I think now we're going to fast forward here, all right? So since we are in the talking points of Premier League football, let's move on to Game Week 24 preview, right? So first game, we have my dear Arsenal, right? All right, so kick off, I say Everton to Chelsea. Championship. Here we go. Everton to Championship. I think Sean Dyche caliber and his
home form. I mean, even at Burnley, it was his home form that kept him up.
Yeah, and Goodison is a kind of a fortress if he wants it to be. So yeah, I think they'll be fine. Maybe before we talk about Game Week 24, who are the favorite relegation? Now it's already past mid-season.
Southampton.
Okay, Forest looking way better right now.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Southampton looking pretty bleak right now. They're signing Jesse Marsch apparently.
No, I heard it broke down.
Oh, it broke down.
So now it's either they are going with the assistant until the end, or I don't know. They're still
So it
sourcing.
broke down. All right. So, actually, your thoughts about Jesse Marsch leaving Leeds? You think it was the right move for Leeds? Because they started to bring in more of his players, and then
I mean, their form has been pretty bad.
Yeah.
I mean, if you look at the 2 performances since he's been sacked, it's actually improved. I think the 2 games against United, draw against Old Trafford, and even the game at Ellen Road the other day, they were actually the better team.
Yes.
But United last 15 minutes, they found a way to get 2 goals and win the game.
Yep.
So I think sometimes, clubs, when they sack the manager, there's a bit of a manager sacking bounce, a bit of performance improvement. So I think we're seeing that from Leeds. But he was unfortunate in a way that Bamford was out for most of his reign. And then Bamford just came back and he also signed the striker from Hoffenheim, Rutter.
Yeah,
we talked
Rutter.
about him. Yeah.
Yes, we did.
So, I mean, I would have liked to see him get a bit more time to see how it actually works with a striker in the team.
Yeah, I think it's very unfortunate to see, right? Because they were playing quite good football and when we struggled to beat them at Ellen Road, the 1-0 about a month back. Not more than a month back, but it was really, really good performance from them. It's just because of Rodrigo's mistake when he crossed it back into the great pass indeed. Great pass for us. And Saka capitalized. Yeah, and then it's just a matter of how Leeds can I don't know, man. Leeds, they were my relegation candidate. So it looks like, I'm not foreseeing that they're going to relegate for sure, but Southampton looks like quite a favourite candidate to go down.
Leeds do have good players.
They do.
At the midfield, McKennie and Tyler Adams.
Adams, the US midfield duo.
Nyongto has been playing fantastically well.
Yeah.
So I think they do have quality.
Correct. So, I think just have to weather the storm a bit. And like what you said, the new manager bounce, right? It's probably because the players coming in, they want to make an impression for the new management. So, they really go all in and all out. And then, so Raihan says that Saints, Bournemouth, and Everton going down. Okay, interesting. So Saints, we agree. Bournemouth? Oof.
I think it's a tough one. I mean, they've signed a few players and they actually played really well against Newcastle last week. I think it can be said that they are unfortunate to have won. Yeah,
I think it's a little bit of how it's also for Bournemouth. We gotta remember that they've got a new owner as well, right? Michael B. Jordan and the consort that bought Bournemouth, right? They've put in the money, right? They've signed three players that are above like £20 million. So it goes to show that the money was spent, right? And
3 very good players as well.
Yes,
seeing them play, they're relatively unknown, but they've been unfortunate in some games. Like the previous week, they lost 1-0 to Brighton from that Mitoma goal, right?
The 87-minute goal. Yes.
But their problem is a bit in scoring goals. So you have to see if the new signings can help them get those goals.
Yeah, so that's going to be the issue for them, right? But I do see where Raihan is coming from. Everton going down, okay, maybe potentially. If Forest can keep up the good form, and then West Ham as well. If West Ham can kind of change the fortunes a bit, Everton may be quite likely going down.
Yeah, I don't think West Ham will go down.
West Ham's too much quality. And David Moyes as well is a good caliber manager. Just unfortunate with the results here and there. All right, so Ashwin is here. Welcome, Ashwin. He says, Arsenal need to win the league. If not, young star maybe lured away. Young players, played like Saka.
Saka to Liverpool.
Never, mate, never. Oh, welcome, Alberto. Hey, hope you guys are all right. I'm not panicking because Arsenal only got 1 point in 3 matches. Every team has ups and downs. Yes, we'll bounce back. And yes, it looks like Everton are going down. So, okay. So I see a bit of sentiments for Everton. There's sentiments for Everton to go down. We'll see how that goes. I believe not. So I have faith in the boys in the blue. But that was your candidate to go down as well, right?
Yeah,
in the preseason.
Under Sean Dyche, I think he has enough to keep them up.
Yeah, fair enough. I think that was a brilliant signing from Everton. I think now they just need to get Ben Mee back and then Nick Pope and the Burnley trio is back.
They're struggling with goals as well because they don't really have a striker. I think Calvert-Lewin is injured again.
Yep. So it's Damari Gray.
Sims who started against Liverpool.
No clue.
Yeah, Maupay on the bench. It looks like Maupay isn't really favoured. Wasn't under Lampard. Isn't really favoured under Dyche.
So why sign him, right?
Yeah.
He was a preseason signing from, I don't know whether Lampard was the one that kind of issued it. Maybe he saw Maupay as like an option that could have been a quality option, but then after coming join Everton, but he did score a winner, if I'm not wrong, for Lampard.
Yeah,
in one of those, I can't remember which game.
One of the few games they won.
Yeah, one of the very few games they won this year. So I think Maupay not been impressing the Everton faithful.
He had a nice moment against Arsenal though.
Yeah,
when he and Zinchenko pushed each other.
Yeah. Well, so it's just it is what it is, and we move on. So we ramble on quite a bit, right? So now we talk about Game Week 24 preview. Yeah, Game Week 24 preview.
Oh, Arsenal's the early game.
Yeah, Arsenal's the early game. Yeah. So Aston Villa versus Arsenal at Villa Park, right. What are your thoughts about this game, Josh? Are we going to continue our bad run of forms here?
I mean, I've been quite negative about Arsenal's results in recent weeks. I said they'll draw against Everton, right?
Yep.
They lost. Draw against Brentford, they drew. Lost against City, they
lost.
I think they're going to bounce back.
Yeah.
I think this is the kind of game that suits this Arsenal team.
Yeah,
I
but
mean, away from home, they've generally been
really
good.
well. Yeah, but Unai Emery, bro, it's just a flashback from the past.
Yeah,
it's now
I mean,
revisiting us.
The positive is that Villa looked to have dipped a bit.
Yes.
When he came in, they actually had quite
good
a good
run
of results. But then 2 weeks ago, they lost to Leicester 4-2, right?
4-2.
And last week, they got swept aside by City in the first half. So I do think Arsenal bounce back. Away from home, they've generally been very good besides the Everton game.
Yep.
I mean, Arsenal have been unfortunate in a way that they play against Everton away where they don't really have a good record, right?
That's our very bad track
And
record.
then they played against Brentford, who have, I don't think they've lost to a so-called big team this season. They've got very good results. They won at the Etihad as well.
Yes, they won the Etihad.
And then they came up against Man City at home, a very high pressure game, and unfortunately they just couldn't take the pressure.
The second half was as an Arsenal fan, I'm admitting that we deserve to lose that game. The second half performance was abysmal and shocking, and we don't deserve to win that game. So, and I did talk to Gestakin, the lads at Gestakin. I did say, right, do we want to win? Do I want my team to lose in a convincing manner, or lose a game that we should have won? Like, it's like, and I give it some thought, right? I'm like, you know what? Actually, I'd rather lose the game like that, like in a convincing manner, so that the team and the manager, whoever the manager is for the club, can reset the mindset. Right, rather than to go, we lose to like a VAR misconduct or something like that, and then we lose barely by 1 goal, and we were playing really well. Then it will hurt even more, in my opinion. All right, so predictions for this game at Villa Park. We've got Raihan saying 2-0 for Arsenal. Yeah, I love. Come on, Raihan, you're a big lad, top lad.
Arsenal have got a lot of clean sheets away from home, but I think Villa will score. I'm going for 3-1 Arsenal.
Oh, 3-1. That's my favorite score. I predicted 3-1 for Arsenal against City. And then look at how that turned out. It went the other way. All right. So for me, I'm going to follow Raihan here. 2-0. 2-0 Arsenal. I think let's go with the 2-0. I think we can get a victory, a convincing victory at Villa Park. Like what Alberto said, right? It's the ups and downs. It's the cavern. It's the valleys, right? You go through.
Hopefully it's the last down for Arsenal.
Hopefully, if we want to win the league, this should be the last down, right? Because we need to get a strong run of form to the third quarter and to the tail end of the season. All right, so Sal is here. Welcome, Sal. He says they're 2-2 to Villa Arsenal. Oh, so he's continuing a bit of the Arsenal down period. 2-2. Fair. That's fair. Next game, we have Brentford versus Crystal Palace at the B Stadium. Where is the B Stadium? What's it called? G-Tech Stadium. B-Tech Gakpo. Brentford, after coming off a good victory, a good result from Arsenal. And then against Palace also struggling. They lost, right, the previous game?
Actually,
I think they did.
Can't remember who they played. Was it Brighton? I think they played Brighton and got a draw. So it was a 1-1 draw.
Okay, let me check now. Fast one. Okay, so with that, if it was a draw, Vieira, how did Vieira's boys? Yeah, it's a draw, 1-0 against Brighton. So it was an impressive draw.
Sanchez error, I think, which granted Palace the equalizer.
Yeah, so Palace at home. Palace was at home against Brighton, but now they are away at the G-Tech Stadium. So I think I'm gonna go for Brentford 1-0 here.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going for a 2-1 Brentford win.
2-1 Brentford. Okay, so we are both going for Brentford. I think the chat as well is saying Brentford as well. Brentford Community Stadium. Yeah. That's the name for the actual name, but then they chat the sponsor is one of the G-Tech, right? So okay, Brentford. I think it's seems to be the chat is going for Brentford. We are going for Brentford. Love to see that. Unfortunate for Vieira's, but actually Crystal Palace, do you think they're going down? Their form has not been really, really good. There could be a potential.
But I think they're overall still
in a healthy position. They are 25 points. Everton is at 18, and so Everton is now 18 with 18 points.
No reason to panic as of yet. I would say.
Wolves are on the up. Yeah, I think it's mostly like Leeds, Everton, Bournemouth, and Southampton. I think those are the clubs that have to be very careful going into the third quarter. Okay, so next game we have Wolves versus Bournemouth. Right. Okay. So everyone's chat is going for Brentford win. I think all of us going for Brentford win. So now Wolves versus Bournemouth. We just did kind of praise Bournemouth a bit here and there. But it's against Wolves at home. Wolves is going through quite a good run of form. You know,
Yeah.
they beat Liverpool, and then after that they
won
they
last
won
week, a very late
Southampton.
win.
Yeah.
10 men, and they got the win at the end.
Yep. João Gomez, their new signing, they got the goal.
Side foot volley.
Side foot volley. So with that being said, right? So do you think that Wolves can Bournemouth cause an upset here? Is that fair to say? Yeah.
Yeah, I think they can get a draw actually.
Mm.
I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw, 1-1. Okay, I'm going for Wolves. Okay, I'm going for Wolves 3-1 here. I do see Wolves conceding, but I think 3-1 here.
Actually their goal scoring has improved quite a bit
Tremendously. I think it's
since
good.
new coach has come in.
I rather Wolves in the start of the season, right? They were struggling to score goals, but their defense was astute, right? Now it's the other way around. I think they're leaking quite a few goals. They're leaking goals, but at least they're scoring, you know. So it's good to see that for Wolves. Yo, what's up, Murph? Welcome. Just
What's
to
up,
quickly,
Murph?
just to quickly. No, it's not over yet. We are going to talk about the main event is going to be later on. So do staying around. If I were to give a timing, if you want to go off and maybe come back a bit later, maybe I would say 10:30 would be a good time to come back. That's what I assume. 10:30. So there's just a timing there. But you know, it would be greatly appreciated if you stay on. You know, just come. You know, chill with us. Talk about a little bit about Premier League football, and we're going to talk about Champions League, Europa League, and then we'll move on to the Community Shield. All right. So moving on to Brighton versus Fulham. Brighton, we just said that they drew against Palace. Fulham is going through a bit of a okay, but they did win against Nottingham Forest last week. But before that, they were going through a bit of a rut.
It's quite a good win.
Yeah,
Willian's goal was fantastic.
Yeah, that was it looked like prime Barca kind of passing and fantastic goal from them, right? Willian, so Fulham at Brighton Stadium, which is the Amex Stadium, right? Amex Stadium, Brighton. I'm gonna go for a draw. No, it's gonna be continue. See, Brighton seems to be there seems to be like a draw curse at Brighton, right?
Yeah.
So I think I'm gonna go for a draw here. I'm going for like a 1-1 draw here. Same like what Brighton happened last week.
Okay, I'm actually going for a 2-0 Brighton win.
2-0, bro. Oh,
I heard Mitrovic is a doubt. If he doesn't play, it's going to be a big loss for Fulham. So I'm going for a 2-0 Brighton win.
2-0 Brighton win. All right. So, okay. So, Sal is saying a Brighton draw. Marcus is saying a Brighton draw. Ashwin is going for a Brighton win. Okay, fair. That's very fair. All right. So, Kimi is here. Welcome, Kimi. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So, big up to everyone. 21 people here in the chat. First off, again, thank you everyone for tuning in. Please help us like, comment, subscribe. I mean, not comment. You're kind of chatting with us, but help us like the stream. All right, get the like number. You know, it will help the algorithm a lot. And yeah, you know, we are so thankful that you guys want to join us and talk about football here. So feel free to always, if anything, just let us know what you want to say in the chat and we will entertain you guys as always. All right. So we move on to our next game. Everton versus Leeds United at Goodison Park. Right. All right.
Relegation 6-pointer.
Relegation 6-pointer. You know, this is going to be a crucial game for both teams. You know what? Leeds, a new manager bounce.
Very exciting attackers. Nyongto, Somerville, Harrison.
Yeah.
Playing great football. Rodrigo is out, unfortunately, but you know, those three, they're excellent against United.
Excellent. Yeah, just very unfortunate they just couldn't get the draw or even a win, right? But you know what? Actually, I was going to go for a 0-0 draw, actually. I was going to agree with Sel there. But, you know, I've got a bit of a soft spot for Everton. So I'm going to go for Everton win here.
1-0?
Yeah,
1-0. Header. Standard Sean Dyche.
Sean Dyche football. Tarkowski header. You know, you love to see that. That's how Arsenal lost our game. I think that's how Leeds are going to lose their game as well.
Could very well happen. But I'm going for a
Leeds win.
Leeds 2-1 win.
Oh, so Mr. Liverpool wants Everton to continue their...
Of course.
Yeah.
Next time I walk across Stanley Park, I can just smile and think of the good old days.
No, but what good old days? Everton has not like played. You know that Everton has not played in the. They are the team with the longest streak in the top flight.
Yeah.
Not Arsenal. Okay. How do I put it? No, so Arsenal has the longest streak in the top flight, but Everton has the most amount of seasons played in the top flight. Does that make sense, guys? Sense, right? I think Arsenal has never relegated since like 1920. Don't quote me on this, somewhere like that. Everton has relegated before, but because Everton is such an old club since 1878, right? So you know they have more seasons in the upper echelons of the league. Anyways, Sorry, that's a side note, right? Everton win for me. Leeds win for you. Okay.
Upset.
Oh yeah, my question I want to ask, right, is would you want Everton to go down and then no more Merseyside derby? I think that's quite a sad. Merseyside derby is actually quite
You
fun
can
to
always
watch.
play in the FA Cup, like some derbies nowadays.
Please, what are the odds of you matching up with Everton in the FA
I
Cup?
think it'll be quite sad. It's always nice to have a
Exactly.
neighbor, but you know, if it happens, I think they're gonna come up.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't
Okay.
think they will.
If it did happen, if Everton does go down, right, I think they've got themselves to blame for keeping Lampard for too long.
Yeah, and some of the signings has been very questionable as well.
Yep. Their signings in the past 6 years have been very questionable. You know, ever since this new ownership came in, they spent a lot of money. I think if I'm not wrong, I did some research a while back when you look at like the revenue, the amount of money has generated from the clubs. Right, Everton's one of the top lowest, the lowest in terms of revenue generator because they have a lot of money going out in transfers and nothing coming back in. Financial fair play, maybe. Into question. All right, so here we go. Chat saying Everton, actually going for Everton win.
Most people going for a very low scoring game.
Yeah, I think it's low scoring game. I think that's fair because Leeds will probably defend for their lives. Kimi said if City goes down, no more Manchester derby. Yeah, that's hopefully they get charged.
Or when City goes down.
Yeah. Maybe that's the definite answer, right? All right, so next one we have Chelsea versus Southampton. Chelsea has really struggled in the past 2 months, man.
I mean, the loss to Dortmund the other day as well.
Yeah, at the Army. We'll talk about that later. Actually, Chelsea played quite all right, but Dortmund was just the victors in that day. What are your thoughts? I think 1-0 victory for me here, Chelsea.
2-0 Chelsea for me.
2-0
I think, they can't not win this. It's sort of a must win for them. After a draw against West Ham, the loss against Dortmund.
Yep.
I thought the West Ham game first 20-30 minutes, they were excellent actually. And they should have had a penalty at the end. So unfortunate, but I think they'll win 2-0.
So Kimi is saying 2-0 to Southampton. Oh, okay. So he's going for upset here.
In Southampton, second sacking this season.
Yep.
So it's not going very well for them.
Yeah, really, really not going well for them. Nathan Jones has two charges left for like 5 weeks, maybe. I think he was hired.
Of times.
No, he was hired during the World Cup, if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, only 2 to 3 months.
Yeah. Nathan Jones. I don't know whether he's going back to Luton Town or not because he was doing really well at Luton Town. Okay, I'll be right back. How about you? You entertain the chat for Forest and City. I'll be right back.
Forest and City.
Yeah, Forest and City.
Wonder if Zach is still here. Zach, are you still here? Must be buzzing. City back on top. You know what? I think it's going to be actually quite a tough game for City. Yep. Away from home, Forest doing pretty well.
Yep.
And then 30 signings?
I think 30. Yeah, you're absolutely right. No, because before we did the preseason, right, it was like 23 if I'm not wrong, right? And then now it's easily 30. Right? They signed Keylor Navas. They signed what's that Brazilian striker? Chris Wood. There's one more as well, if I'm not wrong, from one of the Premier League teams. But yeah, the point is that they've signed too many damn players, lah.
But they're doing pretty well, actually.
Yeah, they're doing well. So City, Forest. I'm going for City 2-0 here.
Ooh, I think Forest may make a goal actually.
Okay.
Going for 3-1 City. I think they have
City.
enough to win. Yeah.
Yeah. I think they've got quality. Talk about Forest. I think they've got some quality to make some noise, and City ground as well, right? City ground is going to be buzzing.
Yes, but City haven't actually looked very solid defensively. Look at most of the results. I think they've conceded in most games.
Yep.
They did against Villa. They did against Arsenal.
Yes.
So actually 2-3-1s in a row. Why not make it 3?
Just make it 3. 3 on the trot. 3 on the trot. Yeah, but Raihan said Forest 1-0. Ooh, Forest. All right. So Forest 1-0. They could maybe. With that being said, now we move on to our next game, which is Newcastle and Liverpool. I think this is the one that Josh wants to talk about.
Newcastle seem to be playing at 1:30 a lot. I think the last 2 to 3 weeks they've actually played at
the 1:30 slot. Yeah.
So it's good. It's a more friendly time for Liverpool compared to the past game week.
Kickoff art said 0-0 for Forest. Navas with 30 saves.
You must be hoping for that.
I'm hoping for that. I'm really hoping if Navas can pull off a masterclass here and goal keep his life out, I'll be happy as an Arsenal fan. But okay, this game, I did say earlier on, right, Liverpool may get a result here. I'm going for a draw here at St. James's Park. 1-0.
Yeah, I can see that happening. Marcus is going for it. I remember Marcus went for,
Yeah.
was it 2-0 Everton win?
Yes.
So he must be delighted that Liverpool got the win instead.
Yeah.
But yeah, Liverpool's away form this year has been
Abysmal.
terrible.
Abysmal.
Horrendous. Is that a
Abysmal.
worse word?
Yeah.
Is abysmal the worst word?
No,
in the
yeah,
spectrum?
I think yes, I think so.
Yeah. I mean,
what monstrosity has this gone on?
3-0 against Brentford, 3-0 or 3-1 against Brighton. It's just like
It's
performances haven't been there at
Yep.
all. It reminds me of Liverpool, like when Klopp first took over. Away form was terrible. But on the bright side, Van Dijk may be back.
yeah, Van Dijk.
He was back on the bench against Everton.
Yep.
Jota came off the bench. So, I mean, suddenly it's not looking so gloomy.
Yep.
But,
Right.
yeah, I mean, maybe one eye on the Madrid game, actually.
You know what, Josh? You always say, right? Do not, as you do not discount your favorite club, right?
I mean, I would never predict a Liverpool loss.
Exactly.
Hardly a draw.
Yeah. Oh! I put you on the spot
my
there,
head
mate.
does say draw.
Yeah.
My head, but I'm going with my heart for this one.
Okay.
Going for 2-0 Liverpool win.
2-0 Liverpool win. All right. You love to see that, right? 2-0 Liverpool win. Okay. Ashwin's going for Liverpool 2-1. I'm going for a 1-1 draw. Actually, to be fair to you, Josh, 2-0 is kind of like a look at the track record. It doesn't seem very likely, but like what you say, you don't discount your team ever, right?
Yeah, I mean, away form, I think probably consider in almost every away game. So
Yes.
I don't know. It's football. Sometimes you get the unexpected.
Yeah, you really do sometimes get the unexpected. All right, so Ashwin going for Liverpool 2-1. You're going 2-0.
Wait, have Newcastle still only lost one game?
Yes. Impressive.
And that was the 98th minute
Liverpool
Carvalho winner.
Yep.
Okay.
Oh, so you think it's a double for Liverpool, yeah?
I mean, it makes it even
more promising.
Even less promising.
Oh, even less.
I do hope Liverpool win.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, we move on to Man U and Leicester City. You know what? Man U just came off a very, very tiring game from Barca, which we'll talk about later. I'm going for a draw here. Leicester's been doing all right.
Yeah, they've picked up 4-2 Villa last week, 4-1 Spurs.
Yeah.
I mean, Madison has come back and really showed how important he is for this.
I'm sorry for the Devils in the chat, right? I'm going for a draw here, man.
Yeah. Here Nacho has done great.
Yeah.
Harvey Barnes has had a decent season. The new signing Tete has come on and done well too.
Kind of, yeah. Imposed himself.
Suta at the back.
Harry Suta, the kind of height advantage, right?
Imagine Harry Suta versus Lisandro Martinez at corners.
Hey, don't discount the dog in Lisandro Martinez, right?
But at Old Trafford.
Oh, Old Trafford though. No, okay.
I do see your point about. I mean, United played their first team yesterday. Right?
Yeah,
and they will rotate.
So don't get me wrong, guys. I know as much as I hate United, right? United played a fantastic game in Camp Nou, and they're going to be really, really tired. That's my opinion. So that's why against Leicester, hence why I can kind of see like a draw happening here at Old Trafford.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it so many times over the years when people play Europa League games. Liverpool had that phase. When they play Europa League games, they come to the Premier League and get whacked
really hard because it's tough, on an away day.
Thursday, Sunday.
And I watched
3 p.m. kickoff
on
Sunday.
Yeah, so you guys are absolutely right? United are playing really well, but it's just a matter of like, the fatigue coming off a very, very tough fixture. And I guys, don't get me wrong. I don't misquote me on this. I do think that I really thought that United should have won that game against at Barca. They really deserved it. But it is what it is.
And I think aspect of Ten Hag's game is intensity.
Yeah. So you see, Leicester maybe coming in with Brendan Rodgers. Oh, maybe. And what if they sack Brendan Rodgers? Maybe this turnaround.
I really respect Leicester for having the faith in him. Like the start of the season, they were last all the way.
And I predicted that he was going to get sacked, right? Yep.
Picked up before the World Cup. And then after the World Cup, they were terrible again. But now it looks like they're picking up. So I think it is important to have faith in the manager.
Yep.
I don't see United losing.
Okay.
I think it'll probably be high scoring.
Okay.
As some people are
saying the chat, yeah.
Actually going for a 2-2 draw.
2-2. Yeah, I think 2-2 is quite fair. I'm going for... I actually want to say 2-2 as well, but I've been giving too many 1-1s, but you know what? 1-1 again. But Rashford has been on fire, man. Do you watch the highlights for the Barca game?
I mean, Ter Stegen though. Your post.
Yeah, should have done way better.
Yeah.
But De Gea as well. The first goal for Marcus Alonso, he was rooted on the ground, and I think it was poor marking from Fred lah. But yeah, we'll talk about it later. All right, so that's we move on to our last game, a London derby, right? Spurs and West Ham at the Toilet Bowl. Sorry, kickoff art. I just had to slid it in.
In Spurs lost to Milan.
Yes, 1-0.
Lost to got trashed by Leicester
4-1.
last week.
You think, you know what? Because kickoff art is a good friend of mine, I'm going to go for a Spurs victory here. I always root for West Ham. West Ham is like, I have a soft spot for West Ham, but I think Spurs at home, they're going to bounce back from Milan, I would reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I did follow the Spurs game live. I didn't watch the game, but I was good with kickoff. I mean, I was with Get Stuck In, and Spurs was not playing too well. Milan as well wasn't playing too well. So both clubs were not playing their finest football. Yeah, so I'll go for a Spurs victory, a 1-0 here. I think they'll nick it at home.
Yeah, I do see Spurs bouncing back.
Yep.
Solid performance, clean sheet, hopefully. I think 2-0 for me.
2-0, okay, fair. Yep, I think West Ham will take some time. I still believe West Ham will stay up in the Premier League, but I think it's still not their time yet to kind of rebound back. I don't think against Spurs they're going to do it because Spurs is still a strong squad. As much as they're going through quite a bad run of form right now, but Spurs, you can never discount Spurs. And Harry Kane, I have utmost respect for Harry Kane. As much as I don't like Spurs, but Harry Kane is a top quality footballer, and he can change the dynamics of the game any time of the week. Okay, so that is our game week 24 predictions. Let us know if it's fair and let us know if it's realistic. I think it was quite realistic. Maybe not the Liverpool one for Josh, but I don't know. Maybe second loss incoming for Newcastle against the same team that they lost.
Hope so.
And it was a very, very unfortunate loss at the Carvalho 98 minute.
Well, I mean, they wasted time for
the
last half an hour even.
Yep. So kickoff at Spurs fan. Okay, so S1 as well. They are both Spurs fans. He said that they usually do well against West Ham. So 1-0. Okay. Okay, that's fair. So at least there's a bit of good track record for Spurs, right? Murph says from a Shine Club to another Shine Club, Arsenal and Spurs. Okay, they move, but some friendly banter go around the chat. Okay, so that's pretty much it for Game Week 24. Game Week 23, actually, George had quite a few right, so it was good. It's a good week for you. But if you're not, sorry, guys. We used to play like a quick fire prediction game, right? But we kind of tailed off after the World Cup, so that's our fault. We would maybe play that game once the season starts again. Maybe we'll do it for the Singapore Premier League. I think that'll be quite interesting, yeah? All right, so so yes, in the Spurs miraculously overtaking the league. Murph, he prefers Spurs over Arsenal. Very sad, very, very sad. I press one to pay my respects. Anyways, guys, before we move on, right, I just want to say that ever since we reached 1,000 subs, right, there's been a change in the layout. Right, if I'm not wrong, can you help me check? There's you can put super chat and super stickers and whatnot. It's quite interesting. Maybe next time I'll put in some mods as well, right? Moderators, so that if the stream gets a bit more busy, and then we get moderators to moderate the chat a bit. Okay, so that's just off topic. Moving on. Let's not waste so much time. We move on because 10:30, right? Okay, so we don't want to waste so much time. I think we'll spend a good 10 minutes at this junction. We'll spend about 10 minutes here, right? So Champions League, right? I was fortunate enough to watch some of the games. Yep, and not watch. I watched one game, but I followed the rest of the games. And I watched the Bayern and PSG game. And let me just say, PSG looked really, really bad. No Mbappe for one half, right? The first half, right? They were disjointed. At one point, right, Bayern had 8 shots and they had 9 shots, 4 on target, and then PSG had 1 shot, no shot on target. And then second half came on, Mbappe came on, and it was Mbappe is such a good player, man.
Yeah, last 20 minutes they actually could have scored.
Yeah, they got disallowed two disallowed goals, gone out wrong. Yeah,
one
from
was
Mbappe. Yeah,
pretty clear, right? One was very marginal. Nuno Mendes just offside. Yeah.
Yes, and Bayern managed to squeak one through, right? Kingsley Coman, big top player. Kingsley Coman is he's one of those. You know what he reminds me of? He reminds me of Filippo Inzaghi. They may not be the same kind of player, but what I mean, how they're similar is because they are big time players. You bring them on, and they always get that kind of goals that you need in a big game.
Yeah, there's quite a few players transferring actually played for both teams.
Yeah,
Coman, Choupo-Moting, another one of them.
Yes. Is there any from Bayern to PSG? Renato Sanchez. Yes, Renato Sanchez. Yeah, so he used to play for Bayern, but it was just a short stint there, right? And then Pavard got sent off with a second yellow, and yeah, the game was a bit abysmal from PSG. If PSG do want to win the Champions League and they showed this kind of performance against Bayern, it wasn't very convincing.
Yeah.
But it goes to show that they heavily rely on Mbappe. Messi was kind of like trying his best in the first half, you can see, but it was not effective football. And then next game, we have Milan and Tottenham. I did address it earlier on. Milan was quite, both teams did not play really well. Milan's midfield is actually looking quite bad right now. Tonali is they do miss Kessie a lot, right? And then they got Salamanca, who's like not really a top footballer, to be honest. So, in the top league.
They should have won by more though. They had chances
at the end. Yeah, they had chances at the end.
To actually kill the game, but very wasteful.
Very, very wasteful.
From the Belgian attacker, whose name is a little bit hard to pronounce. Okay, I know. Let's call him DK.
Yeah, DK. De Calatere, right?
DK for short.
DK. Yeah, DK had a good but Brahim Diaz, man, thank God he scored in the 7th minute. I think that's what they needed. Spurs was actually quite flat today, to be very honest. So yeah, it is what it is. But moving on, we have Club Brugge and Benfica. This is the guy I did not watch, but finally Club Brugge has conceded. They were the only club that has not conceded, right? Yeah, Mignolet. And Benfica seems to be a dark horse. There are some people saying that
favorites to go through.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at the scorers, is like former names you thought would do well, like Joe Mario and David Neres.
Yeah, David Neres. Jean Mario, man. Wait, he used to play for Inter, right? Yeah. Then he went back to Benfica. Right. Yeah. All right, so Sel with a pronunciation. Yeah, Charles D. Catel. Okay, it's pronounced as Catellery. Catellery, right? So Wenlong has said that PSG is big time bottlers. Yep, they are the Champions League bottlers. By the way,
not as big as Man City.
Oh, showing a little bit of spite right there for the City fans. No, but I just wanted to say, right, again, I digress a bit. A quick one. If you guys saw our Instagram right today, Macwell has followed us. It was such a coincidence. It just so happened I opened my phone and then he followed our page, right? Why I bring this up now is because he went big time with his PSG. Go and check out his video about PSG. It was a really, really good documentary. He talked like it's a 1 hour video of talking about how PSG has screwed up multiple times year after, right, in the Champions League and City as well, right? So, let's see now. So when is Chelsea going to find the elusive first win with the 880 minutes squad that they assemble? Europa Conference League qualification may well be out of their reach. Yeah, possibly so. They look really, really terrible. And now we move on to the Dortmund game, right? So Sel said that he only watched Borussia Dortmund. Chelsea seemed like hitting corner flags and the wall of Dortmund was on form. You know what? Dortmund thoroughly deserved that victory. Chelsea played all right, but I think Dortmund... do you see Adeyemi's goal?
Yeah.
Class.
Enzo pass Kepa.
Yeah, class. Freaking class, man. But Enzo had a good shot at the end of the game. Right, but what's Dortmund's keeper's name? I'm suddenly drawing a blank.
It's gonna come in the chat soon.
Yeah, Sel, please help us. What's Dortmund's keeper's name? He was fantastic, man. Yeah. So the Dortmund yellow wall was full force. They deserve to win.
Singing You Never Walk Alone.
Singing You Never Walk Alone. Yes. So that's the Champions League roundup. All right, welcome everyone. So thanks everyone. Please help us. Don't forget to like the stream. Right, just a reminder. Help us get the likes up and cheers everybody as always. Codel. What? Yes, Kobo. Yeah, Kobo. Great save from Kobo. Enzo Fernandez was actually, if I want to pick out a good highlight for Chelsea, right? Enzo Fernandez was good.
It's the Argentinian Jorginho
replacement. Yeah. Yeah, but really good. Enzo Fernandez was good. Yeah. So Adeyemi is going to be on Real Madrid's radar very soon.
I actually wanted him at Liverpool. When he was playing at Salzburg.
Yep.
You know, Dortmund gets all these players. Marlon, Adeyemi.
Great players. And then they possibly keep Bellingham. You know, if Bellingham stays... You know what? If I was Bellingham, maybe I'll stay at Dortmund. Be a Dortmund legend, man. There's actually not many players abroad that stayed with Dortmund all the way. Correct me if I'm wrong, Sel. What? Smeltzer and Piszczek, right? Dede as well. Yeah, I'm not too sure, but yeah. Adeyemi will be like Royce. Okay, so he's saying that he'll stay like Julian Brand as well. But Julian Brand left. He was at Leverkusen and he came back to Dortmund. Okay, anyways. So that's the roundup for Champions League. It was a good... I think these games were really, really good. Entertaining to say the least. We move on to Europa League, and this is where we're only going to focus on one game. But before we move on to that big game, right? Shakhtar Donetsk won 2-1. Union Berlin was going to win, and then their goal got
Good draw
disallowed.
though.
Yeah.
At the Johan Cruyff Arena.
Yeah, they were 1-0 up, but the goal was disallowed. And then Salzburg won. Salzburg won against Roma. It was a header from one of the I can't remember what was the guy, but yeah, Roma was pretty poor on that day. And then Sporting Lisbon drew with the Danish team, right? That's the Midtjylland, I think. Yeah, Danish team. And then Sevilla won. Sevilla, bad run of form in La Liga, but managed to get a good victory here against PSV. Juventus and Nons. Apparently, Juventus goal was a screamer. It was a really good goal, but I don't know how they can draw in Nons. I don't know whether Nons is doing really well in the League One right now, but yeah. And then last but not least, Monaco and Leverkusen. Monaco won. And now we move on to the big game. Man U versus Barca. Guys, I watched the whole game, right? And let me tell you, it was a cracker of a game. And from the get-go, right, both teams, right, at times, right, it looked like a Sunday League game.
Which is interesting because La Liga Barca's defense has actually been
really solid.
Very good. Yeah.
But the lineup that they played was really, really interesting. Okay, so I may be wrong right now, but when I first saw that lineup, I was like, what on earth is Barca doing? They had what is it called? On the website that we check on for the lineups, right? They had a back four of Kwande, Araya, right?
Alonso, right?
Alonso and Jordi Alba. I don't know. It was three at the back with Alonso, Arroyo, and Kwande, maybe.
Yeah.
Either ways, then they played apparently they played Gavi at left wing, but I think it was like a rotation of sorts. And then basically, this was a fantastic game, right? From Man U's point of view, right? Man U was really, really good away from home, but Sancho was disappointing, man. I don't know when you watch the highlights. Sancho, do you see the one where he missed completely right in front of goal? Yeah. And then he just missed. That was Herman was shouting in the stream. It was quite funny, but terrible. Sancho, Garnacho should have came on way earlier, I think, in my opinion, but Sancho was terrible. Rashford, class, man. Rashford was the threatening force. Bruno Fernandes, do you see that calamity? Bruno Fernandes almost got an own goal at the corner flag. And then, Barca was actually very lucky, the both goals. Fred, poor marking from the first goal, and De Gea also was caught off guard. Second goal, do you see Rafinha's goal, right? Rafinha crossed it in.
Then looked like Lewandowski got a touch, but actually didn't
get a touch. Yeah, so that one you can't blame De Gea because I think he was waiting for the Lewandowski touch, but it didn't happen. Nothing happened. The ball just went through the legs. Right, and then Weghorst was really good for them. Weghorst, right, was like he played like a number 10, which was very interesting. But I think he was good because Weghorst knows how to he reminds me a little bit of Giroud. Knows how to hold the ball up, plays diagonal balls really well. So I think Weghorst was a great addition for Man U. But I think Sancho was the weak link for Man U, man. Terrible game from him. He's devoid of confidence right now. So that was the cracker of a game, and this game could easily be 4-4 or 5-4. The amount of chances, I think both keepers had like 10 saves each, and then the shots on target, I think both teams had like 18 shots. It was really back and forth, really. So with that, we've done with our Europa League, coverage, right? So second leg is going to be really interesting for some of the clubs right now. I think Sevilla is going to automatically go through. Is Juve going to get, upset by no one? Yeah, away game to come, exactly. And Man U at Old Trafford, I do think that they're going to get a result at Old Trafford against Barcelona. And I read that there's no away goals anymore, so this is quite interesting as well. Plays a big part in the whole storyline. All right, so let's move on to the main event, which I'm sure most of you guys are here waiting for, right? The main event, which is the Community Shield. All right, so we are so stoked and we are so happy that Singapore Premier League is back in action. Okay, so the I would say the layout for this show is we're going to talk a little bit about this game, and then later we'll send the link for people to join, and you guys can feel free to to give your thoughts about it that will be after the predictions. Okay, so that's fair. So the details are on the screen. I'm sure most of you guys already bought your tickets here, right? 19 February 2023, 6 p.m., right? Live at Jalan Besar Stadium. Albirex Niigata taking on Hougang United, right? Albirex is the champions of the 2022 SPL season. And then Hougang United, inaugural winners of it's their first ever trophy, right, for Hougang.
It's a replay of the semi-finals.
Yes.
Of the Singapore Cup.
Yes, in the semi-finals of the Singapore Cup. So it's, if you're a Hougang fan, maybe you can kind of, play the tactics from last year. But who am I joking? The personnel has changed so much. Both teams, right? Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about what we can expect from this game, and then we'll talk about like the incomings and outgoings of each team. And then after that, we're going to talk about our predictions, and then we'll open the floor to people to come on the show and give their thoughts about this game. Right. So let's move on. Yeah. Oh, before we move on, right? What are your thoughts about the off season for both clubs? Just a general one.
Well, I mean, you know, when it comes to Community Shield, it's always almost like a friendly kind of game because players are still getting up to the speed of playing competitive football again. Maybe they play a preseason friendlies here and there, but you know, it's probably gonna have quite a few substitutions as well.
Yep.
You know, when it comes to Albirex, it's a bit of an unknown commodity.
Yes.
Because they lost players, and every season their players sort of change. So every year, you know, you'll be looking out for who's the next big things. Like last year we had Kodai
and
Idetsu coming up. And then for Hougang, you know, they've lost some key players. I think we're going to talk about it later.
Yep.
Like Soshal, Anwar. But they've also recruited quite well with some exciting players.
Yes.
And if you look, we talked a lot about last season, how their defense was pretty bad at times, right?
Terrible. Abysmal.
I was trying to be pretty kind, but I mean, you've just gone way
I went sorry
spectrum.
to the holes in the chat, but the defense was terrible, man. You guys had like minus 70 goals conceded. It was sad to see, but you know, if you guys show up the defense, right, you guys can make a good challenge for the league.
Yeah, I mean, they've lost Lionel Tam, but they signed 2 Japanese centre backs with J2 league experience, right? J2 or J3 league experience. So I think they've seen where their weakness lies and they've tried to fix it. So it'll be very exciting to see them play and how they actually match up to Albirex.
No, it's good because like what you rightly pointed out, right? Like it's good for management to see what their team is lacking and then they go out and address it immediately. And then they address it with quality signings, right?
Yeah.
So before we move on, right, I just want to say, if you see on the screen right now, I highlighted Traveling CEO's comment. Thank you so much, mate, for tuning in, right? Just a fun fact, guys. Traveling CEO is going to be watching this game live. He's a Malaysian, right? He stays in JB. He's going to take the trip down to Singapore. He's going to watch the game live, and I will be hosting him, right? So he'll be sitting with the Hougang fans, right? And I'm sure, Traveling CEO will be he's also a YouTuber. Do check his channel out. You can copy his name and check Traveling CEO. Great content for Malaysian football. You know, bro, if you're here, right? I'm sure you want to interview some of the fans. So there's a lot of Hougang fans in this chat right now, right? I will introduce you to them, right? And then we can touch base there, and then let's hope it's going to be a cracker of a game, right? Hopefully the atmosphere is going to be good. Yeah. So big up to you, Traveling CEO. You know, everyone's going to enjoy your. I hope that you really enjoy the atmosphere here in Singapore. All right, so that's great to see. So he's learned the 1H. I think he's trying to adapt himself from the
Getting ready.
He's getting ready, right? So Wen Long has said that the historic moment where first S-League red card due to VAR. Oh, okay, maybe a potential red card in the cards, maybe. First penalty kick. So yeah, VAR. If you guys didn't know, VAR is going to get implemented in this game. It's the kind of like the first professional VAR game in Singapore.
Yeah.
So that's very interesting to see. All right. So let's go through some comments first before we move on. I got to say, Hougang has a slight edge over Albirex. Jaguars faced Hougang in a friendly which ended 1-0. Amazing perseverance by I'm assuming it's by the Jaguars. Yeah. By Tanjong Pagar lah.
By the Cheetahs.
Oh, by the Cheetahs.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. By the Cheetahs. All right. So Anders is still in Hougang. Yes. Anders Eplin is still in Hougang. Yep. Arian Pandi is still also there. Yep, he is. So Hougang, I'm not interested in the result outcomes. You really don't care. Most important is to have a great warm-up season plus 0 injuries. Very fair. After one of your signings got, unfortunately, went down with a very bad injury. I think that's very most important, right? Not to get any major injuries in this game. I think we are talking about different fundies. The youngest son. Yeah. So you're
17 years old, right?
Yeah. So you're interested in the entry mainly you're on board to continue about AFC Cup foray. Yeah, AFC Cup is going to be coming up, right? So any links so I can subscribe to his channel. All right, you know what? With that being said, since people are requesting for it, let me put some links in the chat, right, for Traveling CEO so that people can subscribe to his channel. And, you know, rightly so, he thoroughly deserves the subs. I think he's on his way to 5K, right? So please help him out. You know, he's a great friend of the show. He entertained me when I was in Bukit Jalil. Great friend. And he's going to come down with a friend here to watch the Community Shield. And it's going to be a great atmosphere for all around, right? Let me put his link in the chat so that you guys can go and subscribe. Please do subscribe to him. He's a great friend of the show. And here we go. You guys can click the link. All right, so that is the link for his channel. Do check him out. All right, so we move on to the next slide, right? We're going to talk about Albirex Incoming. All right, but the Albirex Incoming is going to be quite straightforward. So let me just go straight to the point. We apologize. Okay, we do apologize. Why? Because, all right, so let me put in the Albirex Incoming. Okay, we apologize because, like what Joshua said, right? It's an unknown commodity right now. If you guys, I didn't want to put in the names as well because we will be totally lost, Joshua and I. We apologize because we did not do our due research for the Japanese players coming in. But I did read there was one or two of them that was quite quality that used to play for like the under-18s Japanese national team. So, that could be a quality signing for Albirex. But we just talk about who they brought in from a familiar face, right? So they brought in Gerald Ong from Young Lions, which I've never seen him play. So I'm so sorry. That's my fault about that aspect. And most importantly, the player that we are all familiar that went to Albirex was Hassan Sani. Yeah. So I would say, would it be an upgrade over Takahiro Koga, in your opinion?
I mean, it's a replacement. Yeah. I mean, Koga is great as well.
Koga was pretty alright, pretty solid.
He went to a J3, right?
J3.
So, I mean, to get Singapore's number one is a real coup for Albirex, for sure. But yeah, I mean, we don't really know many of the players, but I think their style will never change. The fitness, the commitment, moving the ball around, playing football.
Discipline.
Nice football.
Very disciplined. That's one thing good about Albirex.
Changes. Yeah, the players change, but the style remains the same. And of course, the coach has a winner's mentality.
Yep. He's won the Singapore League, 5 times? So I think he's tight now, I think, with the most. So.
Breakout player will be Nicky Melvin Singh.
You think Nicky Melvin Singh? Wow.
I mean, he's probably the local who has been there the longest.
Yes.
If I'm not wrong. Yes. So I think hopefully he has a breakout season. I mean, last season, because they do have to start one Singaporean player. So last season it was Ilhan most game. I think it'll be interesting to see this season. Okay, sorry.
Sel has rightly pointed out that Gerald Ong is from Hougang, not from Young Lions.
Yes, my friend.
Yes, I'm so sorry. So I apologize. Right? So, we sometimes I'll make some mistakes here. But this was the chat's all about, right? We help each other out. Yeah. So Gerald Ong played once for Hougang and the only goal he scored was so he did score once in his entire pro career, which is against Albirex. All right, so maybe that's why Albirex was keen in signing him.
Maybe,
and so that
weaken your enemy.
Right? Weaken your enemy.
Maybe you're gonna score against Hougang this Sunday.
Yeah. Maybe you never know, right? Maybe you can weaken the. Oh wow, we got a good friend here. So Nessa is here. Welcome. So Nessa came from the Get Stuck In. He was watching from he was all the way in the live stream. So. Thank you for, it's a topic here. We're going to talk about Singapore Premier League, so I don't know if this interests you, but thanks for tuning in. Right, thanks for tuning in. So, fun fact. Okay, so sorry, let me see. I lost the train. So, what a betrayal from Hassan. But they did say that they want to, Albirex wants to kind of improve the local football scene and they want to integrate more Singapore players. So, I think Hassan Sani is leading that charge.
Yeah.
Hassan Sani weakening Sailors. So I think that's pretty much. It's definitely a great signing for Albirex, and we apologize again because we do not know much about the Japanese players coming in. But like what Joshua said, right, we can have some confidence that it's still going to be a quality side.
Yeah.
All right. So now we move on to the outgoings, which is we are a bit more familiar with outgoings. Yeah. So outgoings. Let's see now. Okay, so outgoings. Let me change the banner so that we are on the same page, guys. Hold on, sorry. So it's Albirex Departures, right? Albirex Departures. We've got the Kobayashi, Kan and Jun Kobayashi both moving to Young Lions, and then Koga going to the J3 club that you mentioned. We've got Sugita going to Balestier. And good signing for Balestier. Then they got Omori, what's his name? Daichu Omori, the left back. Daichi Omori. Yeah, he was really good for them, right? And he's going to be amazing. He went to another J3 club also.
It's like Risa with the long shots with the left foot.
Yeah. John Anarise, John Daichi Omori, right? And then you've got Kodai Tanaka going to bitter rivals. I mean, I don't know whether you're going to consider them bitter rivals, but I went to the Sailors. And then Ilhan, like most of you guys know, already went to Deinze. Second division club in Belgium. So quite a few notable departures. So these are the players that I put. There are more departures, but I think these are the more significant ones, right? And the one player I did not mention, right, on the right, Masaya Idetsu. till now, I still don't know what is going on with Idetsu. He's still considered a free agent. I don't know what has happened to him. If anyone knows what happened to Idetsu, please let us know in the chat. Right? I could not find any information regarding him. The Albirex released the squad list 2 weeks ago, and his name was not in this list, so he's currently a free agent. I don't know what.
It's almost the whole first 11.
Almost,
right
right here.
8 players.
Yeah. So, it's going to be a real. I mean, like what Joshua rightly pointed, it's going to be a change of sites. You won't recognize the site the new squad coming in, and big losses. Kodai Tanaka's Ilhan, like what Joshua did mention about a month back, right? That Albirex late season charge push was really was boosted by Ilhan signing.
Yeah, big up to Ilhan. Playing up front, he let Kodai shine down the left as well.
Yep. So it's going to be a huge loss. That duo, they played off each other really well. And Ilhan's his good abilities in the game, right, is his hold up play. And Kodai Tanaka was there to always receive a good ball from Ilhan. And
it was during the period Tadanari Lee got injured for a period as well, so it worked out perfectly for Albirex.
Yep. So, oh wow, look at who's here. Get stuck in. Welcome, lads. Thank you very much for tuning in, mate. We do thoroughly appreciate your support, right? And so let's see now. So we got some comments. Yeah, full local team. Yes, Albirex they're trying to get a full local team. It'll take some time. It'll take some time. And then DPM out. We can talk about that another day. Idetsu become aircon electrician. Maybe what Kickoff Art has a good point here. Maybe he's looking for a team in Japan, right?
Yeah,
so
still
Idetsu,
trying to feel interest there.
Yeah, Trent Alexander Idetsu, right? Great
free
kicks on him.
Corners,
really, really great free kicks on him. Yeah, exactly. Right. So, okay. Then Get Stuck In said that the Singapore curve is bigger than the English one. I think so.
Nah.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Only because Liverpool are the holders. If not, I wholeheartedly agree.
So then after that, we've got Fandi Junior technically is with Dinosaur, but G to miss due to the bastard. Yeah, that's what we know. Ilhan unfortunately out with ACL injury. All right, so who's behind the chat? Oh yeah, I think it's Yasha. All right, so talk about Albirex becoming local even earlier. Can't blame a lot of us for being okay. So there is, maybe some people are a bit skeptical about this, like sudden change of Albirex trying to push for a local team. Maybe it's like they're delaying it, but it's yet to be seen. Either way, if they can show quality football, I guess it's good for the local boys to also go up against technical and good footballers, right?
For sure.
Okay, so we move on to Hougang, right? I think most of you all will be more familiar with the Hougang side. I think there's a good talking point to go on. So Hougang Incoming, all right? It's going to be a full list of names right now. All right, so before we talk about Hougang Incoming, I just need to get the two Japanese centre backs names up so that I won't, I don't look like a fool on stream. At least I know.
They do look pretty similar.
Yeah. They do really, really similar. Do you see the new jersey that got leaked?
I saw it.
How do you think of the jersey?
Looks pretty nice, actually.
At first, I thought it looked pretty plain, but then I think that bright orange with that plain look actually kind of digs the. I kind of dig it.
I think you mentioned it last week on the stream, right? How important jerseys are and merchandise and whatnot. And I actually saw it on the Yahoo stream as well.
Yeah.
So I mean, people are putting a lot more emphasis on like merchandise and jerseys and whatnot.
You love to see it. I think it only plays a part to the marketing in the general scheme of things. Yeah. So with that being said, okay, I'm getting much more said than 13 now. Okay, so that's what we want. Sorry, let me see. We have two Japanese wrestlers from New Japan Pro Wrestling.
You probably need them to deal with Kopitovic.
Yeah, Boris Kopitovic. Okay, so let's talk about these are the major signings. I missed out a few names, but I think this is the ones that we want to talk about, right? First one, we got Erwan Shah from Tampines. I put his face here. Sorry, no space left, right, for him. He's coming from Tampines. I think it's a good depth signing for Hougang, right? And then you've got the Geylang duo, right? Umar Ramli and Hazwan Halim, right? Coming from Geylang. Hazwan Halim, our CR7, Singapore CR7, yeah, with his celebration. And then you've got the Shadan, the Sailors duo, right? You've got Gabriel Kwak and Shadan Sulaiman. Unfortunately for Shadan Sulaiman,
he'll be out for a while, right?
He'll be out for a while. So it's really sad to see. Actually, I really wanted to see Shadan Sulaiman in Hougang colours. I think he'll be fantastic there. The kind of gameplay that they play there, I think he'll be good.
Yeah, we have brought a lot to their midfield. But actually, their midfield end of last season was great as well with Zufami, Krajcek.
Yeah, Zufami,
and
Krajcek. So
Sahil ahead of them, right?
Yeah, so they still have they still have good quality depth and good midfield to anchor behind. And then you've got sorry, I did say Geylang duo. It should be a Geylang trio, right? Zaiful Nizam, a great goalkeeper of the year team of the season last year for the SPL, and great signing for Hougang. And then you got Brian Ferreira. Brian Ferreira, right? Brian Ferreira, he used to be an ex-JDT player, and then he went to Mexican Third League, and then he's coming from the Mexican Third League to Hougang United. So he's a player of, I won't say he's an unknown commodity, but he's going to be kind of an X factor here. If he does play really well with Krajcek, right, I think Hougang can make a good charge for the season in terms of like the title winning, yeah. And then last but not least, I left the last two. Right? Because I think it's the two of the most quality signings for Hougang because of their needs, right? First off, we have Naoki Kuriyama on the left, wearing the blue, and then you've got Kazuma Takayama on the right. I think that this is fantastic. Both of them, Takayama is coming from a J2 squad, so I think that's the kind of quality that Singapore Premier League in general needs to show up, and I really love to see it. And then Kuriyama is coming from J3. So it's great to see. So it's from the Mexican second league. All right. So thank you for pointing that out to me. It says here on the third league, so maybe I'm reading it wrong. Okay. Anyways, yeah. So second league for Brian Ferreira. Your thoughts about the signings? I think this is a great haul for Hougang.
Yeah, for sure. I think the most important is the goalkeeper and the two centre backs. I think it's going to make a very big difference for Hougang. I think last season they actually had 4 different keepers play in different stages. So I think that's really good for them. Shadan's going to be a big miss. I was looking forward to actually see him play for Hougang, so that's sad. But even Awan Shah and Hazwan, they all bring quality and experience. Gabriel Kwak as well. So I think overall, really good signings. But actually, who's going to play striker for Hougang? Is it Ferreira?
I would
possible.
You think Gabriel Kwak?
Pedro did leave.
Yeah, Pedro did leave.
Gabriel looks like a Shawa replacement.
Yeah, Shawa replacement.
I mean, they still have Amy. Amy might play striker. Probably.
Yeah. Amy still got Amy off from last year that they can still rely on. But yeah, maybe Hazwan playing. I won't say for Hazwan is a bit
maybe Sahil back as striker.
Sahil, maybe Sahil
he was playing mostly as a number 10 last year.
Yes, Sahil was playing a lot of number 10 last year. So I think maybe back up front would be option for.
I think it's a good move. I think it's interesting to have a club not playing a foreign striker. I mean, most clubs they have a foreign striker.
Yes.
Likes of Zuzu for Geylang last season. Now it's
Yazuma.
Yep.
Is it all? I think all clubs have a foreign.
Almost all. I mean, Sailors was Kim Shin Wook.
Yes. Now they've got
all except Young Lions, of course.
Sailors what? Kodai now?
Kodai
up front.
I mean, they signed Abdul Razak from
Abdul
Young Lions as well.
Okay.
So I mean, Tampines, Kopitovic, of course. Balestier, the 3 Japanese up front.
Yeah.
Hoshino.
Big quality signings for
So I think it's good. I think it's a good move.
Yeah, it's kind of good buzz going around here, and it's good to see. And Hougang's recruitment, I think they've addressed most of their biggest departures. They've addressed it with their incomings. So now we move on to the departures, right? So departures, we've got. I'm sure you guys have seen the names, right? You've got Fabian Kwok. He's been there for a long time. A stalwart in the midfield, and he's left. He joined Balestier. You've got Lionel Tan going to the Sailors. You've got Pedro going to Brazilian second league or third league. Again, Sal, you can correct me if I'm wrong. Then you got Andre Morris retiring. And then you've got the Japanese centre back that didn't really play much for them in the tail end already. What's his name? I can't remember.
Had a bit of some spat.
Yeah. Kaishu Yamazaki, right? Kaishu Yamazaki. He's now playing for a Maltese club apparently, right? And then last but not least, Shawal Anwar and Shahril Ishak. Is Shahril Ishak retired? I don't know. He didn't announce any retirement whatsoever.
I'm not too sure.
Yeah. So it's Portuguese is Serie B. All right. So guys, what are your thoughts? Hougang's departures. I think so. You see, look at the incomings, right? So they Brian Ferreira to replace Moritz per se, but Moritz is more of like a super sub from Hougang, right? Then you've got Gabriel Kwak kind of like replacing Shawa Anwar.
Yep.
And then the defense, right? Lionel Tan is leaving, but you shot up with 2 good Japanese centre backs, quality centre backs based on their past careers. It seems like a very, very good signing. Umar Ramli is kind of like a depth signing for them. pretty young, good. And Hazwan Halim coming off, maybe coming off the bench as more of like a winger was for them. He's got a good pace on him. So I think fantastic signing for, and I think the biggest one as well for keeper, because they were going through a lot of keeper crisis last year, right? So they've shot it up with Zaiful Nizam.
Yeah.
Great signings.
So very good signings, very good replacements.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Sal has said that Shawal Anwar will be the biggest miss. I think so. I'm not entirely convinced that Gabriel Kwak and Hazwan have the same quality, but maybe it just gives Hougang a bit more depth and rotation down that side.
Yep.
I mean, they do have Amy. I mean, now they have a new number 10, Ferreira, Sahil. So still decent options up front.
So if you were to give a grading for Hougang, what would you give a grade?
As in, if you weigh the
pros and cons. Yes.
I think it's A.
A. Okay, fair.
Is A the highest?
A
plus.
A plus.
Yeah, I mean they've lost probably their best centre back, but they've signed 2 foreign centre backs. They've upgraded their keeper by
Miles.
Miles.
Yeah. And Brian Ferreira, I think he's the X factor, right? If Brian Ferreira does well, right, I think Hougang can really make a shot for a title charge this year. A is very fair. Yeah, I was going to go for like a B plus, but you know what? You've convinced me to go for A.
I think maybe the only concern might be striker for me.
Yeah, fair.
I mean, Amy played striker for Singapore at the Mitsubishi Cup.
And it
wasn't that great.
Yeah.
I mean, he was mainly put out on the left for Hougang last year.
Yeah, and I think he plays better there on the left. If you play him like a lone striker up front, I think that's where he struggles a bit. But
Sahil actually scored quite a few goals last season as a number 10, so maybe he might be put up front. But it's a bit of a worry.
Question mark right now.
Injuries come, if one of them gets injured, can they handle it? So similar to what Arsenal is going through right now.
Hougang and Arsenal, perfect analogy for the two. But yeah, I absolutely agree with you.
But other than that, I think fantastic window.
Yes, fantastic window all around indeed. All right, so A from both of us, and even Sal agrees, A for him as well. All right, so now we move on to Albirex. What are your thoughts? You know what, Albirex will just give it incomplete because, like what we say, we apologize because the lack of knowledge from the players coming in.
This one would be fairer to give them 5 to 10 games, and then we
can really judge
how they compete compared to last season.
But I really think that Kobayashi leaving, I really like Kan Kobayashi. He was a great player when we watched Albirex.
Great signing for Young Lions.
Yeah, great signing. I thought he was going to Geylang, man. I was like, wow, Geylang get him, but really
classy player. Yeah.
I think he's second in assists for last year, and I think he's fantastic. Really, really classy player. Kan Kobayashi. I like him a lot. All right, so I think that's the end, right? That's the end. Yeah, that's the end. All right, so predictions for the community shield. Josh.
Oh, this kind of game is always the hardest to predict. The first game because you don't know what's going to happen.
It could be an open book.
You know what? I'm going for Hougang. 3-2 win.
So last year they won 4-2, right? And the aggregate was it? Yeah, the aggregate was 4-2.
The first leg was it? I know it was. Second leg was it 3-1? First leg.
No, 3-1. Maybe you're right.
I know they scored in the last minute. I'm sure people in the chat. The first leg was.
Guys, sorry guys.
It was a draw, I think. Was it 3-3 in the first leg?
Yeah, I think. No, Albirex 2-1. Oh no, I thought these are predictions. Oh, sorry. Anyways, either way.
Albirex had that penalty and then they missed.
I
think it was.
Izil saved it. Yeah, something like that. But
the second leg was 4-2.
Yeah, second leg was 4-2.
Something like that.
So you see, our first leg 3-3. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So Sal, right? Thank you very much, Sal. Sal, you are absolutely legend, right? Looking forward to the game this night. Come on, can we spam in the chat, right? What are your thoughts about this game? Predictions for this game, right? You think it's going to be the champions are going to take the cup, or do you think Hougang, the Singapore Cup champions, are going to take the cup? So you're going for Hougang win, 2-1,
3-2,
3-2. The Hulls will love you, man. You bought away tickets as well. Away, Hougang. Which is quite funny, actually. It should be home, right? Because they're playing at Jalan Besar for the season. But anyway.
Not sure how they decide. Maybe they flip the coin.
I think they just they leave the champions for the league as home, then the cup champions as the away. But it's pretty funny. I was like, away, but they're playing at home. But okay, whatever. Wow. Put me on a tight spot. You know what? For the giggles, right? For the giggles. Yeah, okay, you know what? I'm going for a Hougang win as well. Actually, I was going for Albirex win before the stream started. I think Albirex going to nick it. But because it's the unknown commodity that Albirex, we don't know the players much, right? And they probably need some time to adjust themselves into the league. So, with that being said, I think Hougang can be considered the favourites because they ended the season strong. They've reinforced the squad with a lot of quality signings. 3-2 for you. I'm going for 3-1.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm laughing at the comment.
Yeah, 3-1. 3-1. Same as kickoff art. Two of us are going for a 3-1 victory. I think 3-1 we're gonna take it, yeah. 3-1. Albirex. So some people are saying Albirex. All right, let's see. So Sal is saying 2-0 for Hougang. Hougang 4-0. Albirex can already. Okay. Kimi says 2-1 for Hougang. Marcus said what? Marcus earlier said Albirex 2-1. So Albirex, yeah. Albirex to win on penalty. Murph is saying, what did Murph say to me? As long as one of our boys gain chemistry and experience, 0 injuries, that's a win for me. All right, that's fair.
Penalties will be exciting.
Yeah, Xavier, Albirex. Cool. By the way, Xavier, congrats on your, I heard that you're going to take some pictures at the games, right? Through a media pass. Well deserved, Xavier. You thoroughly deserve it. You're one of the most passionate youngsters out there for Singapore Premier League football.
I think you can try request for, what do you call it? CIP hours.
CIP hours, yeah. Extra CIP hours for your secondary school. It never hurts. And, you are really, really passionate about it. Okay, so with that being said, that's the end for not the stream. But you know what? Let's keep it fun here, right? Let's do an open discussion. It's been a while since we had an open discussion. So let us prepare the open discussion segment right now. So what's going to happen is I'm going to send the link into the chat, into our... wait a minute. Why is it not showing? Hold on here, guys. Let me figure out something out. Yeah, there you go. So I'm going to send the invitation to join the stream, right? So I do hope that if you want to come onto the stream, please be mindful that let's talk a little bit more about Hougang or Albirex. Maybe if you're a Sailors fan, you can talk about Hougang. Don't stray the topic away, lah. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Let's try to keep it to the talking point at hand, right? So I'll extend the invitation for people to join. Feel free to join, and we can just have a discussion. We'll probably talk for like maybe 30 minutes or so, and then we'll call it a stream for today.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's good food at the game.
I hope so.
Was it the Singapore game where they had like some nachos stuff?
Yep. No, but okay. So the thing is, right? Like but that was the national team.
Yeah, the Vietnam game.
Yeah, maybe it's the same vendor. Hopefully, it's the same vendor.
Should call in some food trucks and give us some good food, man.
Yep. Okay, so the link is sent into the Telegram chat. As I again mentioned, right? Let's hope that let's keep it to the community show, right? We can talk about other Singapore Premier League when the season starts, yeah. But let me prepare the stream because Joshua also wants to hear your comments. Right now he can't hear you all, so I need to set that up. Hold on. Okay, gotta plug this in. All right. We got people streaming in already. Hold on. Is it long enough?
Yeah.
Long enough. All right. Hold on here. Before we get people onto the stream, let us set it up, and then we can formally introduce everyone into the stream. And all right, hold on. Let me prepare everything. Make sure everything is working fine.
Later, this Zach come on start talking about Man City and all.
Yeah.
She's not even sure if he can hear us.
Yeah. Not yet.
I think he's listening.
Yeah, he's here. He's
smiling a bit. So.
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Yeah, sorry. Let me prepare. I'm so sorry, guys. Give me a while. I apologize. Okay, so open discussion. We've got so far it's 3 people, right? I think we'll keep maybe 3 people is just the right number. Then we can keep it short and sweet. But thanks to everyone for tuning in so far. Please help us comment on the stream. I like the stream as well. And here we go. So we've got my main man Sel wearing look at that non-bra jersey. Non-bra jersey is fantastic. All right. Fantastic. Love to see that. And then now next up we have Zach. Mr. Zach, you and your city now coming out from your thrones. Oh, we got another guest coming out. Okay, this is good. Okay. Sorry, can you hear now, Josh?
I didn't say anything.
Can someone say something? Sel and Zach say something?
Hey man.
Hello.
How are you?
Okay, sorry. We are going through some technical difficulties, but yes. Okay, next up we have the one and only Murph. Welcome, Murph. How are you doing today,
Hi
mate?
guys. Good to see you guys.
Good to see you guys.
Cool,
And then last but not least, we have the Tanjung Pagar representative in the house. Yeah.
Hey.
Hey
What's
Zach,
up?
Sal, Lukman. Good to see you guys.
All right, good to see
Hello.
everybody in the chat. It's been a while. It's been a while since we've had a live stream, and it's good to see everyone back. We always love chatting with you guys. And yeah, so maybe you can give yourself you can clarify some things we've said. Maybe we said some things wrong here and there, or you can kind of add lib to what we were saying just now about the community shield. So maybe you'll start with Sel, we'll move to Zach, and then Murph, and then Kimi. All right, so Sel, take the floor away.
Okay, I think you forgot some of the people who left Hougang. I think we lost two of the youngsters, Farhan Zulkifli and also Aizil Yazid to NS. But I heard they're going to Young Lions. So yeah, Farhan Zulkifli is one of the biggest loss because last season he really improved a lot in his form. So he have a replacement in Irwan Shah, and I think is one of the most reliable replacements. Yep. So other than that, we have a lot of new youngsters coming up. Fandi's younger son finally appearing. So hopefully he will be like his brothers, but he's actually more of a centre back. So we have covered a lot. I mean we have ample covers on the defense. But the only worry is like Shadan Sulaiman. I think he will be literally out for the whole season this season because due to a broken ankle. So I hopefully because we have two. I heard that there are two Singapore internationals that have yet to find a club. So hopefully we land with Safwan, who can also play in the midfield also. Yeah. But
fair.
Yeah, let's hope. Yeah, let's hope for the best. Yeah, for the season.
Okay, all right. Awesome. So yeah, I think great points there. Sorry I didn't put all the names because the list was so Hougang Incoming was so long. I was like, the outgoings as well. I was like, okay, I need to make sure I got it all right. But yeah, great points there. Now the left back is shored up with Irwan Shah as well. And okay, Zach, your thoughts? What thoughts about Hougang, mate?
Firstly, I think I think the most important thing we would like to consider actually Hougang is the under 23 player. Who is starting for the under 23 player? So just off the top of my head, there's two players. One is Jordan Vestry. But the thing is, I'm not sure whether he's back in training. So that's one thing. The second could be AJ Robson, the midfielder. So I think that's very important because this will decide where Hougang will play the rest of the senior players. Because if let's say Vestry is fit, and I think that would be the best case scenario, then probably midfield will be maybe Zufami, Krachek, that kind of thing. Then in front will be all the attackers and so on. I think that would be the most important question for the Shield. And secondly, actually, I think this is a very, very big season for Alka and for Firdaus because I got a sensing that Firdaus wants to walk the ball again, like the start of last season, that kind of thing. But the caveat, we had a lot of excuses last year. The defender's not good enough, the player's not good enough, that kind of thing. So now we got two very, very solid centre backs. So now it's down to Firdaus to execute what he wants to do. Because we cannot say, the centre back too lousy. We got two foreign centre backs, one from J2. So there's no more excuses. So it really, Hougang should at least challenge for the title, or at least maybe be a strong, clear third place. If not, I think Firdaus might be under pressure come end of the season. Personally, that's what I feel.
Fair. Okay, we can talk about Firdaus a bit later. All right. So the opening thoughts from you, Murph. How are you doing there, mate? It's been a while.
Nothing much. I'm not so much into the technical knowledge. To me, I'm going to respond to everyone's observations or the news. Like for example, to me, Vestring and it's a straight swap straight in for Farhan leaving, which is damn sad because although Farhan started as a forward, you all know, right? Farhan's first ever game for Hougang, he scored a wonder goal as a winger against I think the time Home United, right? Before
Home United, yeah.
So but then later he was deployed as left back. But yeah, I'm glad Irwan Shah comes in. I see it as Irwan Shah is he's a definite semangat guy, great guy.
Yeah.
Okay, in person.
Me and I have a chat with him also. Yeah.
Oh, great.
Nice guy.
I'm really looking forward to get to know him. And also, he's 35 this year, so he can act as a not just experience.
No, he's 34. He's born in 89. 34.
Okay. I thought he's 34, turning 35. Yeah. Then and also he's going to be a great mentor then to Vestering. But I think Vestering has been laid off quite some time because of NS, right? So he has an
ankle problem. So right now I think he's been training. But then we have a lot of under 21s coming in. So I think the one that we're going to cover is up front, I think. So we got one player who played for, I think, Sporting Lisbon. The academy. I'm not so sure about him. I think he was, Huh? No,
No,
AJ.
sorry.
I think
AJ,
Shabazz or something. Yeah.
And anyway, to me, I'm more interested in what we Hougang fans can do together. Whether we are casual fans or whether we are
Yeah.
hardcore for Hougang. What's the difference we can make for our boys on the field? That's
Yeah.
that's what matters to me.
And I think I agree with you. What more of like, just now you were saying in the chat, right? Like I think most importantly, gaining the chemistry, whatever the result on Sunday, right? Gaining the chemistry and making sure zero injuries is going to be the most important aspect, right? Because it will really suck if like you start out the season and then like injuries flying everywhere, and then like, the game doesn't look good from Hougang. Even if you guys don't get the result, but you guys play well, I think it will look good going into the season, right?
Yeah, I think the shield will be a bonus.
Yeah, the shield will be a definite bonus in this regard. All right, so last but not least, we have Kimi. How are you doing there today, mate? It's the first time ever on stream, right? How are you doing?
Oops, can't hear you.
I can't hear you, Kimi. Are you muted?
Your voice is going.
I think you're muted. Wait, let me hold on. Oh, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, sorry. I mean, I've been extremely busy with preparations for the new season.
Right.
As you know, Jaguar Force has been an extremely small group, so everything is a lot of preparation. Anyway, about that another time.
Okay, yeah,
Now
for
it's
sure,
about
for sure.
Shield,
But no, you're going for Hougang win, right? All right. So you see, at least
Yeah, I'm
you're
going for
backing the Hougang boys to win. Okay, that's good. That's good to see. Okay, so let me start off this open discussion. Maybe we'll have like 3 or 4 questions, then we'll end off the stream. Yeah. So great to see everybody. It's been a while. It's been a long minute. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for tuning for the stream as well. We really do appreciate it. Okay, so first off, maybe you can say your predictions live on stream, right? What do you guys think is going to be the scoreline this Sunday for the? I'm sure all here's going to be Hougang win, but maybe some justification why. Sel, maybe you can go for it first.
Yeah, because I already say it's 2-0. But one thing is, I do not know much about the Albirex team. They are totally
None of us do.
team. Yeah, and one thing, also their local players. The only one that I can think of who is of quality is Hassan Sani. Yeah, so we will face a bit of challenge while scoring goals. But then I think I have faith in my boys. So I think we have scored 2-0. I mean, Krajcek is still there.
Okay, wait, sorry. Sal, I'm so sorry to interrupt you. Okay, maybe just add on this point, right? Who are you most looking forward to see the debut? Like the most, like who are you most looking forward to see this coming Sunday for Hougang United? Maybe everyone can answer that, or Albirex for the matter.
I think Kazuma is the one that
Okay, the J2, right? The J2 centre back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean both of them looks equal, but I think Kazuma is more of a, it's more of the Nemanja Vidic kind of mold. Yeah. I mean something like him. Yeah, because we always used to compare a calm defender and a robust defender. So I think it's more of the robust defender. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. So Zach, your prediction and who you're most looking for a debut for Hougang?
Prediction maybe 2-1. I also admit I'm not very familiar with the Hougang team, and I feel that Albirex usually they kind of start the season slowly because of the new players and so on, and then they get to know better. So maybe Hougang might be able to just get it. Personally, clearly it's Brian Fernandez because he's the biggest name. Pereira. Yes, correct. So clearly he you go transfer market, highest value player, you expect the most from him. And really and really for me it's he might be kind of striker that what Hougang need. Because personally last year I did not like Pedro at all. I felt his follow-up play was quite poor personally, considering the style that we wanted to play. So and his temperament and so on. I didn't think he was the best, so I'm happy that he's gone, and this new Brian guy hopefully will be pretty sick. So
he did quite well for us.
Yeah. I think that'll be awesome.
I actually had lower expectations for Pedro before last season, but that's why to me he exceeded my expectations, but it was low in the first place. I'm also looking forward to Brian in debut. Let's see how he surprises. Hopefully it's not a flop. I mean, we have Brazilian flops before. I'm not going to name names.
Yeah, but ex-JDT player, coming in, and he's still relatively young, right? He's what, 28?
Yeah. I think he didn't do well in JDT, but when he went to Indonesia, he did very well. He's basically a legend for I think Persis Solo, I think, or Persi Kediri. I don't know which team. So the fans were really like calling him to come back to Indonesia, but he already signed for us. So hopefully he will be a better player lah. Yeah.
Yeah, good exposure for him. All right, Kimi, your thoughts this coming Sunday? Are you coming for the game, Kimi? Are you coming for watching the game?
Unfortunately, not.
Okay,
Really
okay, fair.
busy.
All right.
Because I'm flying over. I'm flying next
Oh,
week.
okay,
So
okay. Nice.
yeah.
Oh, you fly?
So thank God to
You
us,
fly.
they don't have me. So yeah, I won't be attending the first SPL game. So unfortunately, but
Okay.
It's all right,
anyway,
it's all right.
back to
Yeah.
point. So for me, I'm going for Hougang wing. Solely okay. I mean, it's not very accurate, but I'm basing it on the friendly we had with Hougang, Tanjung Pagar had with Hougang, and I got to say, your defense is super solid. Your two, Kazuma and who's the other guy?
Now,
his name?
Sexyama.
Kazuma and
Kuriyama.
Naoki.
Kuriyama. Yeah.
Naoki and Kazuma, right? Kazuma
Yeah.
and your goalkeeper, Zaifu. So that's who. I mean, me being a goalkeeper myself, I am looking forward to that three. The two Japanese and Zaifu.
Rifle.
I mean, and for Brian Ferreira's case, he's played in Malaysia, he's played in Indonesia. I have a feeling he's gonna just give off like Luis Junior vibes, because Junior had experience in Indonesia and Malaysia, and he was amazing in the league. So I assume he could be the same, except Brian Ferreira is a number 10. So we'll see, But
Yeah, and he's quite
I'm-
small. It's like Enzo Fernandez.
yeah, but I'm looking forward to the defense. Your defense is really solid.
Yeah.
I think that's really
Sorry.
important, right? Like a good defense will always carry, like Geylang last year, right? Geylang's off, like Zuzu was like, and Bezekor was like the only strike force, but the defense was solid at the tail end of the season, and it was really good.
Yeah, you know what they say, right? Defense wins titles.
Yeah, so maybe Hougang has adopted that mentality, and it's good. The two, I think it's also good that you guys went out with like to sign two Japanese centre back, and I think that's where the chemistry can form like really fast, right? Because I'm sure language barrier is going to be a big issue if they were to pair up with English-speaking defender, right? So I think that is really, and over time they can of course acclimatize themselves at a more comfortable pace, if I could put it that way, right? So I'm looking forward. It's, at least Kimi has seen the new boys in action. I think it's good to see, and I'm really looking forward for a good defensive masterclass right now, because Hougang last year was a defense. It was a walking defense calamity last year, unfortunately for you guys, But yeah, okay. So that's the first thing, right? Predictions and what we are looking forward to the game. Maybe the second one is, since we have a more Hougang orientated panel today, right? So we can talk a little bit more about Hougang. Yeah. So, first of all, maybe can give your thoughts about predictions for the new year. Like for you as a Hougang fan, right? Do you think that challenging for the title is a realistic goal, right? Do you think that's the case? And do you think like maybe Tampines? Would you think that Tampines is like your closest rival in terms of like quality wise? So again, Sel, take it away.
I mean, for me, since we spend and get quality replacements for those who left, I think I expect at least top 3. I think for me, Tampines, yes, kind of give us rival vibes, but actually I just don't want to see DPMM taking the title or what. I mean, fuck it lah. I just don't like them. And I'm going to say it over and over again. I mean, yeah, whenever we play them, we'll give them hell. Yeah. So hopefully, I think as my predictions, hopefully I see top 3, and
Okay.
also a cup run. So, and also hopefully, when we go to the AFC Cup, we go to the second round, because we almost made it last season. Yeah.
Yeah, I think you can look forward to that, right? Because the new quality signings, I think, it go like, you see, I think I see this season for Hougang, right, similar to like Sailors with their AFC Champions League run, like, because they shored up their squad with like internationally recognized players. And when you go into foreign land and you play against these foreign clubs, right, this is the kind of experience that you need, right? Sometimes our local players may not have that experience yet, right? So it will look really good for Hougang. I think the signings that you make, and top 3, I think is very, very realistic. All right, Zach, your thoughts?
Yeah, I think the lowest that I would expect up the upcoming season, maybe top 3, top 4, that along that line, seeing based on form. But I feel that it would be a very good opportunity if we can possibly go for the title, because you see, Sailors, arguably you can say Sailors are weakened. Albirex unknown, it could be good, it could be bad, and then DPM is back. So it's like I feel at the top there will be quite a lot of competition. They probably could take points off each other, that kind of thing. It could be like a 2019 situation where we were also close, come near the end of the season and like things didn't work out for us, partially due to our us not getting the result. So I think there's a very, very good chance, especially if Hougang start well, like the starting well would be very, very important. Maybe let's say out of first game, we get 6-7 wins. Could be a very good position considering this season the league is also, if I remember correctly, it's 3 rounds, right? Compared to 4. Yeah. So if practically, let's say first 8 games we get 6 wins, a third of the season is gone. It's like there's lesser time for a comeback. So that would be the very key to start well, and then we'll see where it
Take
goes.
it from there. Take it from there. Yeah. Starting well and take it from there. Because if you get like what is that you're saying, like maybe the first 8 games you'll get like 6 victories, 1 draw and 1 loss, right? I think that's really playing most of the clubs in Singapore. Like it's all the league already, and then you can kind of guess or you can kind of get a feeling of how the each team is going to do, right? So starting well, every team strives to do well at the start, but if Hougang can manage to do that with the squad that you guys have, I think it could be a deep run, a deep push for the title. Maybe potentially.
Oh yeah, I have a little sticking point. If I remember correctly, when the fixtures came out, I don't know whether they changed it or not. I think Hougang had 4 away games at the start, or 3 away games. They had like 4 home games after that, or something like that. I think it was quite bushy. I remember I was looking through the fixture, and I was like, huh?
Could it be because of could it be because of the shared stadium? Because like this year is real, like everyone is sharing a stadium. I think maybe that could be potentially the reason. I don't know.
I mean, maybe possibly. But Hougang only share with Young Lions, right? This year they only share.
Yeah.
That's quite
DPMM will play their first home game there also.
So it will add this kind of like weird. Yeah, it's a bit funny, right? DPM playing extra games in Jalan Besar as their home. Then after that, you've got Balestier and Sailor sharing Bishan. Then you got the usual Tampines Geylang sharing So it's all these like aspects coming into play. So maybe that's why.
You should send DPMM to Hougang Stadium, Rugby Stadium.
I should send to Yishun.
Send them to play. Send them to play Lim Chu Kang better.
All right, Murph. I know. Usually you don't give not on the technical side, but do you think that a top 3 is realistic for Hougang, in your opinion?
I think I'll say based on our capability and the players we have, I would like us to at least aim for top 3. I hope a top 2. We will finish top 2, but historically, whenever we our boys I don't know why it is
mental.
It's a mental thing. See, since the very beginning, remember how saw that season where we were that season where we were going to split into top 6 and bottom 6. That one.
Oh yeah, that one was okay. I mean, that one was okay. The one that was really fucked up was the 2019 season.
Oh yeah,
that was fuck, man.
Yeah,
I remember I really wasn't really happy with some of the players. I really expressed my disappointment when we lost a title. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, I would say that Hougang's DNA is such that we have to take the games one at a time, and then every game is a journey. We can plan long, we can aim high, but we take one game at a time. And to me, it's like what was that saying in Star Wars? You win by surviving the war. I mean, it's a long journey.
Yeah. Don't get carried away. It's very easy to see potential. Not only Hougang, I think even Sailors, right? Sailors usually with so much potential they have with the signings, and then you see when they get too carried away, and then unfortunately last year they got some management issues and all, and you see that's how they lost the title to Albirex.
And I'll say this: I don't want Hougang to fall into that trap of obviously last year Sailors is set up in such a way they want to draw. Because they call themselves Lion City. Come on, you're based in Bishan, you're not based in Singapore. So I mean, as in the whole, they want the whole of Singapore to support them. So clearly, with that comes with that weight of expectation. It's a burden that something go wrong, their fans will turn on them. Except except the faithful small numbers who actually turn up to make a difference. The rest of the fans are expecting the Lion City squad to play well for them. Now, that kind of toxic fans will actually put more pressure to the players.
The
Right?
players.
That's what I don't want to see in Hougang.
Yeah, fair. I think it's about building the mental. Okay, before I pass to Kimi, right, I just want to give a shout out to Alexander. He's a UK supporter. Thanks so much for tuning in. He just subscribed to the channel, so big up to you. I know this is about Singapore Premier League. Maybe we can get yourself well versed into the rhyme of things. Maybe you are interested to come to Singapore next time. We will entertain you for sure. Cheers, big up to you, Alexander. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so for Kimi, I think maybe not really Hougang. How about, let's give you a bit of a diverse talk right now. So for Tanjung Pagar, right, what do you think your thoughts are for this upcoming season? Realistic goal for Tanjung Pagar, Kimi, your thoughts?
I mean, the issue is still squad depth for us. They haven't been okay. I mean, this season they've been making quality signings, not quantity. I mean, I gotta agree, the signings this season is much better than last season. We have a better striker. Okay, I wouldn't say better striker. Rio is also good, but we have someone who
European
potentially can be like maybe Boris Kopitovic, because both of them are Croatian and both of them same age, same experience. Could be the next Boris. But for me, realistically speaking, I just want to see the Jaguars go for a AFC Cup qualification.
Okay.
Like, at least because we barely missed it last season.
Yeah, that little bit, just not even little bit. Yeah.
So
it's sad to see. Yeah.
At least the
We
AFC
stole it from
AFC
everyone's
Cup.
nose, I think.
Yeah. But then
I
again,
might want to digress a bit and talk about AFC Cup qualification, but go ahead. So sorry.
No problem. But in terms of Hougang, honestly speaking, from a neutral standpoint, I want to see them fight for the title. It's the top two. I say the top two finish for Hougang because Sailors don't look that stable now. Sorry, Zarfan. But yeah, they don't look that stable. They look like a very new squad, so chemistry might be a problem. Tampines look like a solid team because they have made a lot of good signings. But there is one specific player that I hate until today. Yeah, I think you know who. So, and he started the fight. Okay, so I shall not name who. So I don't want to see Tampines fighting for the title. So I'll definitely, Hougang winning the title is definitely a win-win for the Jaguars. But for us, it's just AFC Cup. We got to be realistic. Last season we started out very good, like top two.
Yeah, you guys started off fantastic the season last year. Yeah,
and then so it's like I say AFC Cup is good for us now. It's at least AFC Cup.
Okay, by the way, so great points, Kimi. I think AFC Cup qualification is also really, really good. I think there's a very realistic goal for you guys, right? But I think depth is like what you rightly pointed out. It could be an issue. But I just got to say, right, your jersey is a cracker of a jersey. I love the new jersey, by the way, Tanjung Pagar's jersey. Really, really nice.
I mean, okay. The thing is, right, we had a discussion amongst the Jaguar Force guys. We have our own Telegram group. We're discussing it. Like, nobody likes it.
It reminds me of the Saint Pauli jersey last time. They got a brick and a pin.
Yes.
Yeah.
The pain one, right? Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago, if I'm not wrong. Yeah.
I think when the last season they wore Under Armour, I think. Yeah.
No, it's something different.
I'll reserve my comments first.
Until
Interesting.
I see in real life.
Is it because you saw the jersey in person compared to in pictures?
No,
we only saw
it in pictures. So we want to see it in real life because the contract hasn't been. I mean, the contract has been signed. It's just that it wasn't debuted in the friendly yet. So I think they're gonna play in the SPL. So for me, I want to see it in real life.
Correct. It has to be seen. You have to see in real life to really make a proper judgment. Yeah.
And for me, from a Man United, standpoint, I have quite a number of Man United jerseys, and they have that tabletop jersey. It looks like shit, but we won the title with it.
Hotel 13, right? Van Persie, yes.
Yeah. So we had the zebra prints. We had the disgusting highlighter green jersey, which is our current third kit. But at the end of the day, when you look at it in real life, you can actually grow onto it. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
that
Yes,
maybe
for
the
sure.
Jaguars jersey might grow on to me. I'll see lah.
No,
But
like
all
what
I can
Sal pointed out. Sorry to interrupt, but Sal pointed out
Yeah.
that time, right? The menu kit, it was disgusting at first, but then after a while, it will grow on you. If I'm
Yeah.
not wrong, yeah. It was probably something. It takes maybe it's, okay. Again, this kind of talks, right, is a very personal preference kind of talk, right? So you may like it, you may not like it, no right or wrong, right? But I think like what we are trying to say here is like maybe you see more. If Tanjung Pagar does well, maybe the kit will be people will start to appreciate the kit more. I think the kit looks pretty banger when it
I
released.
think it's
Like,
okay, man.
yeah.
I mean, for
Okay.
me, it's okay. The jerseys, basically, design, it looks okay.
Yeah.
But important thing to FBT, please, big sizes. Please, big sizes. Please.
We always have
Same
problem also. I mean, we Warwick's now Ari also have same problem also. It's all the
Aiyo.
Thai brands. Yeah.
Yeah. The fitting lah, they always do like the slim fit cut, Like, anyways,
Singaporeans too fat.
They gave me Fasha's size. I say, like, do I look like I'm as small as Fasha? I'm like probably 1.5 times bigger than Fasha, and then you gave me Fasha's size. I'm like, no, man. I'm like, give me the maximum, the biggest size you have.
yeah. Oh my.
Anyone
Okay.
who calls
Anyways,
Fasha, like,
yeah. Okay. So, anyways, Josh, your thoughts about Hougang? So can they do a title charge top 3? Is it realistic to you? What are your thoughts?
Well, I think that it's going to be a bit harder this season because the team that everyone hates is back, PMM, right?
Yep,
And
fair.
Tampines have strengthened, so I think it's actually going to be very tight this season, and I think that is good for the league. I mean, you won't see the top. I don't think the top 2 will be fighting for it. So it's a bit like the Premier League. Last few seasons we've seen Liverpool and City at the top. This season we've seen a bit of change up there. So I'm hoping for that. I think in the SPL it's always been this way. Like any team on their day can beat anyone.
Yes.
So I think that bodes well for a very exciting season. Yeah, so actually maybe I can throw the next question.
Yeah.
to
Go
the
ahead.
panel.
Please go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just curious, what are your thoughts on like how much will Hougang miss playing at the Hougang Stadium?
Oh, this
Because
Ah,
I mean, last season in the Singapore Cup, the 4-2 win against Albirex, I think a lot of that had to go down to playing at Hougang Stadium. The
Yes.
pitch, the
The
fans,
atmosphere. Yes.
So how
Turns out
much
to
do
be
you
our
think
last
of
game
like the team now this season playing at Jalan Besar?
Very good question, Josh. Take it away, Sal. Go ahead.
Okay. For me, as personally as a fan, it feels quite sad because we might not play at Hougang Stadium anymore. But for Hougang players themselves, right? We had one season playing away from Hougang Stadium before, and we did pretty well that season. We almost won the league. But then as I'm not so sure what FAS is planning for Hougang. I heard a lot of rumors that we're going to take over stadium in Sengkang, Punggol, or I heard that Hougang Stadium is going to be demolished, right? And they will build a new stadium on top of it, something like a OTH. Yeah, so I don't know whether we are coming back there. I don't know. I mean, yeah, but
what I heard from Uncle Tiger.
for me,
Remember who's Uncle Tiger?
for me, for me
But
is I'm always for if your name is Hougang, you should play in Hougang. You should not play anywhere. Yeah.
And anyway, Uncle Tiger said that most likely they will scale back the entire demolition and just the stand, focus on the stands, the opposite side also, and then just build around the present pitch. We'll see lah. I mean, plans change. FAS Sports, Singapore Sports actually keep changing plans, and actually it's quite frustrating. Yeah.
You say Hougang play in Hougang. How about Tanjung Pagar, man?
Yeah.
True. You should go back to Queenstown, man.
Me too.
Yeah.
They should
Why the hell are
refurbish.
we in Jurong?
Now's the time to refurbish Queenstown Stadium, and they don't want. I tell you, it's all a matter of will, whether they want to do it. They don't want.
Yeah, I
it's
mean,
not
Geylang
easy
should go
also,
back to Bedok, man. Even
Yeah,
though
man.
the toilets are stinking, but I mean, it's your home.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. It adds up. I think also like if all this like sharing stadium, all this development. Okay, right now, of course, in this transitional period, right? I'm always quite big on like how to improve the league in terms of like coverage and marketing and whatnot. And I think this doesn't do well in this aspect because it's like there's no identity. Like that's what you guys are trying to drive home about, right? Hougang, the whole aspect about Hougang Stadium is Hougang. Hougang United is Hougang Stadium, right? The beauty of playing at home with your home stadium, And then sometimes when you go to OTA, it's like, oh, is this Geylang's home or is this Tampines home? It's always shared, this kind of thing. And yeah, I do see where you guys are coming from. Like really, it will add a certain kind of you guys will definitely miss that kind of aspect, and it may definitely maybe translate to the games as well, right? Left to be seen, right? Any more thoughts about Joshua's question about not playing in Hougang Stadium this upcoming season?
For
Actually,
me,
I
I
had.
worry. Oh, sorry.
Okay,
Zach, you
Murph,
go
Murph,
first?
go ahead. Sorry, Murph,
Okay,
go
I'll
ahead,
go
go
first.
ahead.
I'm worried more for the injury aspect because the artificial pitch at JBS, right, tend to have I don't know, it has a higher attrition rate in terms of injuries. You see both Fundis get injured there on the pitch, and the players do feedback. It's worrying for them. They get it's a greater impact on their backs when they run that distance. They jump, they hit the ball, everything. So I'm also worried that yes, I know regardless of pitch, everyone both teams play the same pitch, but over a long haul period, right, we were not playing on grass. I just worry about the impact of the players on their careers, for example. So honestly, I yearn to go back to Hougang's natural pitch. I hope this to me is a ridiculous idea. Stadium sharing to Sports SG and FAS is all about cost savings. But to me, honestly, I hope it's temporary solution while they really purpose to spruce up the stadium. I hear rumors are not confirmed yet that they really are going to spruce up Toa Payoh Stadium, total refurbishment, which I welcome that honestly for Balestier. They deserve it. Yeah.
Zach, you say something? Sorry, Zach. Go ahead.
Yeah. Actually, okay, I may have a slightly different opinion about it. Okay, just from pure playing perspective, I do not entirely mind going to JBS because okay, this is my greatest gripe. Okay, even though I like Hougang Stadium, I can walk to Hougang Stadium, But the thing is that the problem Hougang, like let's say the past 2 seasons, for example, we maybe had probably like the third best squad, that kind of thing. But because of like Hougang Stadium, because it's a grass pitch, we cannot play a very technical style. We have to be very pragmatic, very direct. So it doesn't play into our heads if we have, let's say, the third best squad in the league, that kind of thing. So we should play a more technical style, more like on the grass, less variance, so to show the quality of our players. Because like even let's say the SG Cup run, like against Albirex, also it's like it was very pragmatic, like we play on the counter, we send the ball long, that kind of thing. So actually, if you don't want to play a very technical style, JPS, the surface might be better because they're more used to it. Because last season, you think about it, Hougang, the players train on Hougang pitch, a grass pitch. Then every time they go away, they go to Tampines Hub, they go to Jurong West, they go to
Jalan
JBS.
Besar,
It's like Jurong East, sorry, yeah, JBS. Then they're playing on a different surface. So for the players, it really makes a difference, where how the ball moves and so on, that kind of thing. Like for example, on the grass pitch, you notice that sometimes players have to really chip the ball, lift the ball that bit above the ground, just to make sure the ball goes to the other side and so on. So for me, from playing perspective, I think it might be slightly better. But of course, it does come with like injuries and so on, which are another different issue. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it marries both points really well, right? I think what Zach, like you're getting across, like it's going to be more comfortable for the players to get used to a certain like the AstroTurf, right? And then there are more AstroTurf than natural field right now. So I think in terms of adapting to the league is good, but then like to Mer's point is also very true. It's going to be there's always a risk of higher chances of injury, and then like their careers could be shortened because of the impact of how the longevity and the long term usage of this the artificial grass lah. Yeah. So, well, I guess but if Hougang wants to play a more direct style of football, and like what Zach is saying, maybe this could really vote into their favor to getting more results. Yeah. So that is a very fair counter argument. I think that's very, very fair. Okay, so Kimi, maybe for you, Tanjung Pagar, Jurong East identity definitely not there. We talked about this offline, right? So maybe you can share some thoughts about how Jurong East has catered to the Jack Force and Tanjung Pagar, maybe a little bit, in your opinion.
No way. I mean, because you see, okay, it's a little difficult for us because there's many factors that come into play. One is Albirex has been, working with the community in Jurong. So technically, we don't really have Tanjung Pagar fans there. And Tanjung Pagar United have been working with the community in Queenstown, which doesn't make any sense because, there's no stadium there. We're not playing there.
Yep.
So I mean, and another factor that comes into play is the fact that, with the with the suspension or whatever of Warriors, the Warriors supporters are actually with us. I have no idea why, but maybe it comes to a point where in the 2020 season, we actually took like maybe 3/4 of the Warriors squad.
Maybe
for
they
the
could have played a part. Yeah,
that could have played a part, and they actually stayed on for 3 years. And then I'm like, okay lah, whatever lah. But it's very hard for us to build a foundation, and it's very hard to actually find the loyal, true Tanjong Pagar fans within the Jurong East Stadium fan base. See, because I know the loyal fans are all in Queenstown, and if we were to return to Queenstown Stadium, I remember back then there were people in wheelchairs, there were elderly in wheelchair, elderly in walking stick coming down to the stadium just to watch the games. And that was like in 2013, 2014. People in wheelchair, coming down to watch the game. It's because it's in that community, the elderly in that community, and because of our heighters, Tanjong Pagar supporters are technically in that age group. Like you can't find anyone in their 20s, in their teenage years supporting Tanjong Pagar. It's very rare. I call it a gem which is Eason. I'm not sure if you met him. He is a gem because he just graduated from JC and he started supporting Tanjong Pagar, I think, last season. So that is truly a gem, and he's actually helping us out in the Dragon Force to build up the foundation based on his perception of the Gen Z lah. So he's trying to get gather the Gen Z community. But for me, it's like I have no idea what do Gen Z fans like. I don't even know.
Yeah,
like,
TikTok.
Yeah, it's a difficult generation.
I don't even know how to use TikTok. It's like, what is this thing? I'm like, okay, but yeah. So he's helping us with the Gen Z community, and I mean that could be a start of something new. We'll see. Because I mean, no offense to Murph, no offense to Salah, but I'm not growing any younger. Everyone's not growing any younger, and we can't be running Dragon Force till we are 50s, 60s, right? I mean, there must be someone younger to do this.
Yeah, a succession.
I can't be like, at 40, 50 years old going to collect CPF already, standing there at the stands, shouting cannot. I mean, I'll be very, I got a family, and it's very hard for me. So we need to build that foundation, and what better time to start than now. And 2023 with a lot of things coming in, and with Tanjong Pagar doing actually quite decently well last season, minus the going sloping down at the end. But you can see I can expect more fans to come down. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Yeah, so we'll see people in Queenstown should come down to Jurong East. I mean, as much as elderly, it's very hard. I understand. We really hope for the people to come down.
Okay, sorry about that. We had something on the side. Yeah, okay. So I'm not kidding. I totally get where you're coming from. I mean, we did share this off stream when we talked after the Myanmar game as well, right? Like, this is it's quite sad to see that now Hougang is going through this transition because leaving Hougang Stadium, but you guys have already been doing this for the many seasons since you all rejoined the league. So it's a struggle. It's always a constant struggle to find that loyalty and that foundation. It is. So I do share your sentiments, and maybe in time maybe we can kind of support each other and see how we can grow this fan base and build a holistic community for the Czech Force. We can look into to see how we can grow that aspect.
Like that sad kid that's can you have more, please? Like, we are pathetic. We've been running on 2-3 people for like 4 years already. Okay, coming to the 4th year. It's really we need more people.
I mean, okay, well, if don't have to feel so bad about yourself, because it's also not you don't take entirely the blame of the fan club as well. The fan club is doing their best. I'm sure you guys are doing their best to try and revive and try to build up the community. It also falls into the league, hands of like the clubs and the league as well to support you guys to make sure that it has to go both ways, right? So what I'm trying to say here is it looks like the league is improving in that aspect. So hopefully there's this momentum driving into in each club's favor, and then slowly it will grow for each club as well. So we have to think in that kind of positive light for Singapore football. And if the rate is growing, and like what Murph said is true just now also, right? If the stadiums, if like the government can kind of like look at the long term, try and process how we can utilize our funds to make sure that stadiums are properly developed and fully functional, then maybe in the future clubs can have their own stadiums, and then this is how the identity can be grown from there. Yeah. So, but it's yet to be seen. This all just, we are just assuming things here and there, right? But as of now, we are only 2023. We have to look at the now and the current. And right now, Hougang is playing at Jalan Besar, Tanjung Pagar is playing in Jurong East, right? So that's the facts of the matter, unfortunately. Yeah. So
you can see the league improving now because more people in my office are actually talking about Singapore football.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. You see, so yeah. So at least there's the buzz. That's what the goal difference. That's what all these small little kickoff art. Everyone here, even the Who's, when we do social media, this kind of thing, it's about generating buzz, right? At the end of the day, it's not what if we don't do all this, right, then we can just go to the games ourselves and enjoy the game, right? But we do all this so that we can try to attract more of the casuals and and maybe try and get back some of the old school fans to come back as well. And I'm sure if they come back right now, they see the quality. I'm sure they'll be pleasantly surprised, right? And from there, that's how we can grow the league. So with that being said, okay. Actually, I kind of wanted. I think this is the end of the stream. Is there anything else you guys want to? Any pressing issues or questions you want to throw it out there? We can entertain maybe one more question or a talking point. Anyone wants to go ahead with it?
Well, I did mention about one thing to mention. Talk about AFC, but maybe that's another topic for another time. Because now
maybe.
it's not.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe someone else want to have another topic to talk about.
Yeah, anyone want to talk about anything before we call off this stream? It's been really entertaining.
Yeah.
I know. I miss you guys, man. You guys we always love this kind of like talk to talk about the local scene and how we can like improve each other and whatnot. Yeah.
Okay, then I'll just say it with a parting shot. To me, this season's highlight is going to be Hougang is going to play a minimum of 3 away games, 3 home games in the AFC Cup. So I'm looking forward to travel, saving up, aggressively saving up, hopefully, to travel potentially. Of course, Malaysia, there's Terengganu and Sabah, these two. Indonesia, I don't know which team. Vietnam is no longer Ho Chi Minh, that's South Vietnam. It's going to be Haiphong. Haiphong is from North Vietnam, quite close to Hanoi. So things like that. I'm looking for Philippines. By the way, talk about AFC Cup. Do you know previously we had 3 teams being able to qualify, 1 in the Champions League, 2 in the AFC Cup. But because of I suspect some very high level corruption, then they discuss and revamp the qualification to the point that they cut. Basically, at first China is supposed to be cut from Champions League because they lost. They only had 1 space, right? Then they got back the total 3 spaces and kick Hong Kong out, who is supposed to be number 3 in the AFC Cup East zone. So and then they got kicked out all the way to the I tell you it's all politics. I'm very disgusted with that politics and long story they changed the calculations to how many points each country is supposed to have to qualify. So because of that, Singapore get affected. We lost our Champions League place, and now instead of having 3 teams, we only have 2 teams fighting for a slot. That means 1 league champion, Singapore Cup. That's it. So Kimi, I want to say this is actually much harder now to qualify for AFC Cup. I mean, the thing we have to do is we just have to keep like Hougang. If we get to a second round, we get our winning points, right? Okay, we push our coefficient up, and hopefully we can eventually get our
the extra slot back.
But for now,
not looking too promising for Singapore in general. But you're right. If Singapore can have a good representation always, I think that, we can like what you said, the coefficient can rise up, and then we can have that prospect of having the 3rd slot back. So maybe
I thought you have the Conference League thing.
Yes, the 3rd one.
Yes. That thing.
So from what I heard is AFC Cup is a 2 place. we have another one more for the Conference League.
Hopefully. But right now,
Yeah. It's one actually. Zero, 1-0. Yeah. So it's direct. So it's still 3 teams, but the third.
first two
I
lost
think
already.
the third there was one finished the second best in the league. I think they will qualify for Conference League.
I hope
Yeah.
so.
Correct.
I mean, I'll take that. Honestly, if they have that, I'll take that.
But
I
I
don't
think
mind
it's
us winning
stupid.
the Conference
I
League.
mean, why revamp the competition? I mean,
Okay,
everybody should play Champions League, man.
No, they want to give more spaces to what Laos, Brunei, Timor Leste.
Yeah, the other countries,
The
the
other countries that they really can't get
Cannot.
anyone in at all.
Yeah.
They want to give the chance to
Yeah.
at least.
It's like it seems
Actually-
like it seems like world football as well, like the Conference League, right? The UEFA Conference League. It's just trying to get the lower European leagues to have a bit of European football in their leagues, that they may not get in like Europa League or Champions League. Sorry, Sal, go ahead.
Actually, this one, I've already did like something like a dream style of AFC competition, which I think right more teams should play in the Champions League, and an extended of something like a Europa League kind of thing. So we call it like AFC Cup. So that way, more teams can play in it. No, adding the Conference League, I don't think is a big advantage. Yeah. So never mind. That one I will explain later. When I meet you, I will talk to you about it.
Let's discuss
Yeah.
this in the next one of the streams.
One of the live streams, we
Yeah,
can check it more.
AFC Cup is way in August, so it's still way long. To go.
So we can talk about that in the near future. But I think just to end off this talking point, I think everyone has a very good talking point. I mean, Murph and Cell so far, right? About this Conference League and the Cup, right? But I think I will imagine. I agree, with Cell. I think we should have more Champions League clubs. I mean, in the competition, we should have more clubs playing in the top prestigious league. Right? That's what everyone. As fans, that's what we want. But I would imagine, right, the clubs that qualify for it all the time, they must be like, no, I think this is where we deserve to be. And why should we have more slots opening up for the lesser clubs per se, right? I don't know. I may be spitting nonsense here, but it's just one thought that I just had in my head. So like maybe they realize that, okay, why don't we do like a third league, which is the Conference League, third competition, so that, that's how we can like appease both ends, right? And I think maybe this is also part of politics in football in general. So, well, as fans now, we can just work with what we have, right? And that's pretty much it for today, guys. Thank you so much. I know we got you on a bit last minute and a bit too on the tail end. We apologize. I'm sure we are bursting with a lot of comments and a lot of talking points, but we definitely in the maybe next week's stream, right? We can definitely talk more about this. And just before we end the stream, right? I just want to thank everyone again. Thank you so much for tuning in. Thanks to Kimi, thanks to Murph, thanks to Zach, thanks to Sel, thanks to Josh, right? And thank you to everyone that's been watching thus far. I just want to say that the goal difference, right? What we're going to do is, Josh and I were discussing, I think every weekend, right, we're going to do on Sunday, right, after the Sunday game, right, we're going to do a live review show for that weekend's game, right? Not that weekend's game. That means the whole week, that weekend, all the games, we will just review like a short 30 minutes to 45-minute stream, right? Then I think it'll be quite interesting, right? Then we can talk like maybe if Hougang wins 5-0, we can, the fools can come in and celebrate. We can talk about, exactly. Or vice versa. If Tanjung Pagar comes out with a huge victory over DPMM, right? I'm sure Kimi will be bringing the drums over and ring.
If we have a huge victory against DPMM, I'll be invading the pitch already.
That's what you love to see. That's what I love to see.
If we have a huge victory.
Yes.
There's a huge loss can come on and brand also.
Yeah. If there's a huge loss, if there's a huge loss as well, you can come on. If the ref play a very controversial call, I'm sure you guys can. Yeah.
Kimi in Jurong East Stadium is going to drop down 2 stories to go on the.
We are going to fight for the gallery. Okay, we're going to fight for the gallery.
That's a good. Okay, I know that had to end the show. I mean, that statement had to end the show. That was a perfect end to the show. Anyways, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. It's been a while we had this live stream. Glad that we can finally talk about Singapore Premier League in detail, because the past 2-3 weeks we've been talking very briefly, right? And like last week we were talking a bit off topic, like all the off the field controversies. But it's good to finally talk about on the field stuff, right? And it's great to see. With that, I'm going to end the stream. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone for the panel for coming on, and we're going to look forward for the Sunday's game. I'm looking forward to it. And don't forget, Sunday, if you haven't bought your tickets, go and buy your tickets. Go and watch Albirex and Hougang. Even if you're neutral, go and, feel free and join. Join the halls as well. See the atmosphere. If you guys want to see what the atmosphere is like, I've never been to a local game. I implore you to try and go for a Hougang game. Then that's how we can build the league, and then that's where you can support your own club. Yeah.
Why Hougang?
Maybe even Tanjung Pagar as well, they can appease you. And like what Kickoff Art said, right? I think he stays near the area. So maybe if Queenstown, if you ever go back to Queenstown, or if you want to represent the Queenstown area, can go and support Tanjung Pagar.
Let's make it easier. Whoever lives in the West, you can come down to Jurong East Stadium to watch, because there's no other clubs in the West. Only us and Albirex.
Yeah. So if you don't fancy some Japanese club in the West, right, you can always support our local team in Tanjung Pagar.
Not fair. Albirex got cheerleader lah. Cannot.
Kimi, you can double up lah. Maybe you can
hire you.
No hair.
No. All right. So with that being said, thank you so much everyone for tuning in. I'll play the outro, and with that, cheers everyone. See you on Sunday, and take care. All the best everyone. Ciao.
Bye.
Bye.